email, words of encouragement for Artie. We all love you, Artie. We believe in you. You can lose the weight, fight the heroin, and find yourself a great girl. In defense of High Pitch Mike, he is applauded by some in the audience. I watch High Pitch versus Artie on Howard TV, and I just have to say that for someone like High Pitch Mike, who's the size that he is, he's got balls of a big man. Saying some of the shit he said to Artie, I applaud him.
Well, what am I going to do, get physical with the kid?
Well, no, he says he likes the High Pitch Mike's balls. That's all. He has his fans, Artie.
That little bastard. God, does he burn me up.
George, you're on the air.
Hey, how you guys doing, man? Hey, man, it's a great show. I love you guys.
Thank you.
Artie, I want to tell you about your diet, bro.
Go ahead.
I just think you need to add a few mangoes and pineapples, some fruits, man, and then you'll be all right.
Oh, all right.
All right, thank you.
Maybe I'll mash them up and put them in something sweet.
That seems like a very important phone call.
How did you do? It is Cupcake Wednesday.
Oh, God. And I tell you what, I love Halloween cupcakes. I do. I love orange icing.
And you didn't have one?
Not one.
Wow, you're doing good.
You.
Not one.
I thought they would be too tantalizing.
I may burst into tears later this afternoon.
Rockabye fans, so on the Stern Show, you're addicted to drugs and your comedy blows. You're such a fat pig, it's getting so sad. So climb on the roof and follow your dad. Fuck you, fat ass.
Wow.
So mean-spirited.
I heard on the wrap-up show yesterday, because John Hein is here, that Richard and Sal had a hand in that song parody.
Well, of course
They're angry with Artie, I think.
They don't like me.
They don't. I heard that
I know.
show.
I mean, clearly these guys don't like me. It's a shame.
They're jealous of you.
That's it.
Do you think that's what it is?
They think you get special treatment, that you're like a favored son.
Well, you know what? Artie does get a different treatment. Here's the weird thing. Richard and Sal think that somehow I'm against them. I hired them here.
Right.
To be against them.
I like those guys. I like what they do. If I don't play something, they go into a major tailspin. If I don't like something they do, they feel threatened. They feel like their jobs are on the line. They think
Artie doesn't get yelled at for sleeping. They get yelled at for working.
I don't even know what they were talking. Artie was tired on the air. He didn't ask. I said, go take a nap. I thought it would be funny to hear Artie nap on the air, and Artie complied.
Artie gets to run after girls and ask for their phone numbers. They can't approach the guests.
Well, there is a pecking order. There is a difference. Artie, first of all, has been with the show longer than them. Number two, Artie had a major show business career. Sal was a stockbroker, and Richard was working. I wasn't even working. Artie had a major show business career. When I first met Artie, he was an alumni of Mad TV. He was on the Norm Show.
Dirty work.
He had appeared in major motion pictures, but not some kooky independent.
They were studio movies, sure.
Studio movies. He is a different guy on the show than Richard or Sal. Yeah, that's true.
Why can Teddy get the phone numbers of girls and he can't ask for an autograph from Ace Frehley? Come on.
That's right, yeah.
Now, first of all, I get, guess what? And Benji brought up this point. It was an excellent one, too. He said it jokingly. I get paid more than them, too.
Right, there is a difference.
Of course, there's a higher, in any job you go to, certain people have different privileges because either they're there longer or they have a, if you were going to, I'm higher up on the food chain,
how
sure.
do you get to sleep on the show?
Because there's comedic value out of it. Howard makes...
Don't argue with me. I'm just taking their side.
God damn it, Robin, not you now.
I do want to mention, too, that Andrea, Miss Howard Stern, we think fell asleep during the wrap-up show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't talk to her.
See, when I watched it, I sort of felt bad for her on some level. I could see that she was a pain in the neck to you, but in the reality show, she sort of portrayed where it looks to us like all she's trying to do is help you. I didn't get the side of her where you guys were talking about that she's just using you. I just saw her just trying to help you and crying a lot.
Did you just fall asleep?
Andrea.
No.
Andrea, I got to tell you something.
I'm saying she's a whining...
Can you imagine? She's just like,
wow. She just blanked out for a second?
Well, here's Sal and Richard carrying on about Artie and me. And
I've been a little gun-shy coming on the wrap-up show. I haven't come on in 2 weeks because I feel like every time I say something, Gary always disagrees with me. If I say the sky is blue, he'll go, no, it's not. It's orange, asshole. That's how I feel, but I think I'm overreacting. And I spoke to Gary.
I disagree with you on stuff in general. It's not just in
That's
here.
True.
No, but I'm not like bullshitting you. When we're out there and I talk to you, I'll say to you, Sal, I disagree with you, or I think you're wrong on that, and you don't get mad at me out there.
No, I'm not. But I'm not even mad. Even on here, I just decided not even to come on, because I'm not mad at you. I'm like, you know what? Sometimes it's just tough for me to get my point across with Gary. But we do feel, Richard and I feel that when Artie's in here, you have a tendency to really lean on him and coddle him.
What do you mean by coddle him?
90% of the time, no matter how crazy or whatever Artie's saying, you always seem to agree with what he's saying. Like if Artie's arguing with high-pitched Mike, you're definitely going to side with Artie. Like if Artie's arguing with somebody, you always side with Artie, no matter what the argument is.
But see, I think it's weird that that's how you interpret it. What if I just happen to think like Artie? What if Artie happens to think like me?
And Artie,
is that possible?
And Artie also said that, when they were fighting, Gary and Artie were going back and forth a couple weeks ago, he made a joke about how Gary always takes Howard's side blindly no matter what. You know,
I agree. I think that too. I always said that if Howard Stern came on the air tomorrow and says he believes in Jesus, Gary said, you know what, Boff? I've been thinking about that.
By the way, isn't Sal talking about himself? Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
Sal is the guy who sucks my balls so bad that, like, if I said tomorrow I'm becoming a Scientologist, Sal would go, I want to be a Scientologist.
That's right. Who does that more than Sal?
It's Sal. Sal doesn't, people project into other people what they are.
Well, Sal is also jealous of anybody who does manage to have a relationship with you because he has not managed to affect that.
He has nothing with
it.
Dude, maybe there is a God. I think that you kind of go with...
Sal, you're the asshole who does whatever I do.
Okay, first of all, I admire you for your work.
Right.
And you should take that as a compliment.
I do.
If you were a Scientologist tomorrow, I could give a shit.
No, you would do it. If it meant that you could get close to me, you would switch religions tomorrow.
No.
Yeah.
You'd be right over at the celebrity center.
You're a woodwork wacko who waited.
I've never taken up chess. Never.
Believe me, you would. You would.
I've thought about it.
You thought it
you don't have the mental capacity to take up chess.
I've thought about it, but you have to admit that Gary.
You can't spell. You should take that up.
I'll tell you one thing.
Take up chess.
Gary always kisses your ass. Gary agrees with everything that you say.
No, he doesn't. We fight all the time.
No, I totally disagree with you.
You agree. This is who you are.
No, it's
Gary.
not. No, I admire you for your work.
Gary and I fight all the time.
I admire you. It's totally different with me. I admire you for the man that you become, the entertainment you provided.
You would suck my asshole clean if I needed you to. You under hypnotism, you said you would blow me.
Right.
You're the guy who's that.
You wouldn't need baby wipes if Sal were around at home.
You're describing yourself.
That's not kissing
You're
your
in
ass.
love with me. You love to see what shirt I'm wearing. You notice everything I do, the clothes I wear. You're a man in love with me.
Dude, I'm committed to what you have created.
You love me.
I love
you
what
get
you
upset
created.
if I don't take you to dinner in a while.
He knocks anybody close to you, including Beth.
Right.
Bullshit.
Oh, bullshit my ass.
You made a part of
You're the guy who wants to come over in my apartment and eat pizza with me and watch
you know what? I
television,
worked for you. It would be nice if you did that.
I don't
Back
want
then, I
to
needed
do
a
that.
place to stay. And, you know, if we were working on a construction...
I would never have you over my house to stay. You're a weirdo.
I'm a weirdo because I admire what you do. If we worked on a construction site and you were my boss, they said, hey, Howard, can I stay over tonight?
Who got into the pizza
He would say, yeah.
Who got into the pizza fight at Artie's nice party that I threw?
Well, that was
Who would that be?
That was me and Scott DePace.
No, that was you.
Okay, I instigated
You did it to Scott DePace.
I put a little dot on his head, and he threw a mound in my face.
Why do you not see that you're not the guy who could be trusted? Who's the guy who smells Mutt's daughter's panties?
All right, wait a minute. First of all...
Who's the guy?
Don't put a twist on all that shit, man.
Well, I'm not putting you in my house.
See, and then you want to know why me and Richard are pissed. We admire you. We're committed to you. Yet I come in here, and you have to fucking bring up all this stupid shit and make me look like an asshole.
Stupid shit.
All right, but maybe I do.
Who's the guy who said
why
you said about me that I'm an entity? I'm not even a human being.
Okay, what's wrong? Hey, take that as a compliment.
So you're the guy who kisses ass.
No. I'm a guy who's being truthful. A guy who kisses ass is a guy who just wants to protect.
So you mean Gary's not being truthful, but you are? If Gary agrees with me...
Of course.
Oh, come on.
Gary,
you sound
wait,
like
hold
an
on.
idiot.
No, I
You think you're the only one who works here who was a fan of Howard's for years?
I never said that. You guys are saying that I'm the ass kisser.
You and Richard, I think you're good at what you do, but the fact is you're here because you won a radio contest that we actually initiated on the air. You guys won a contest. You were listeners. You were building fucking...
What does that mean?
You
won the American Idol.
You won American Idol.
Howard, I'm sorry but I'm sorry, Howard, that me and Richard admire you. Is that such a bad thing? At least we're being honest.
And what is this? What is this? Why do you guys feel so downtrodden?
We don't feel... Well,
why do you feel like second?
You feel very slighted, and you never miss a moment to tell the audience.
Get out of that, man.
I don't miss a moment. I didn't even go on the wrap-up show. I didn't even want to talk about it. Who cares?
First of all, can I tell you something?
Look, Howard, we're here. I think why we get downtrodden.
And what is this weird thing? Why don't you speak for yourself and stop with me?
All right, fine. I work with the fucking guy day in and day out. He's the only guy I talk to.
So much more than you.
All right, thank you.
So Richard shouldn't be included in the week. He's the guy who would be at my house. I would hang out with Richard.
Can I say something very quickly? Hold on.
You're the one I want.
Sal has been reprimanded more since he's been here at Sirius than every other employee.
I was right here when you said
I was in the green room and I said that joke about Washington didn't fly over well.
You told him whoever wrote that joke you should be fired.
That's true.
And you know you're a little pussy with your cow sucks.
I
didn't tell him. I
said that I was being truthful.
Porno chick's number.
I was being truthful. I said to the guy that one joke stuck.
All right, just keep it to yourself, you idiot.
Yeah, why should you?
I know what happened with these. I know what happened with these two idiots.
Why
they go to these shows, and these fans pull them aside and go, "You guys should have an album.
Bullshit.
You guys should put out rock."
Because they say that happens. They go, "How do you put up with Artie walking all over?" I go, "Artie's great at what he does." And I challenge anybody that I talk to off the air at those stupid comedy shows how they rip you apart, and I defend
Richard,
you.
What do you want to?
And I know I get it too. I know I get it too on my end. I know when you go out, they say "fuck Sally's an ass."
They never even bring you up.
That's fine, but when they do bring you up, they bring you. Nobody knew you. You sucked on Mad TV. You sucked on the Norm Show. Barely sucked. Shit. It's fucking terrible.
Wow.
You know it. It was a flop. They won in 18 theaters. It made $250 grand in America. I could shit that out of my ass. Who are you to tell me about comedy and what people tell me off the air? You have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
You know, they got you aside and said, and don't carry yourself.
Where were you?
You guys should put out an album with those phone calls.
Where were you?
For stockbroker.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't carry myself like I'm the living legend of comedy.
You're a
dick. I think he does.
And neither do I.
He's been milking us the whiskey.
You're a weirdo, Sal. You're a weirdo.
Go to New Jersey and rip off the fans again New Year's Eve with the same act you did last year, cocksucker.
You're a weirdo. It was in Philly.
Wow.
You want to go head-to-head? I'm going head-to-head. What's
Sal, everything you're saying doesn't make any sense. You're jealous, and it's oozing out of you.
I am not jealous of you. I put up with your bullshit. I always praise you, but you always got to tear me. So you want to tear me?
That's not true.
I'll tear you.
I'm trying to pull you aside. I'm trying to pull you aside all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I try to pull you aside all the time and help you out. Who gave you $5,000 after you fell off the stage and finally got a laugh?
That was the worst amount of money. I'd rather take it from Hitler than take it from you. If I could give you that money back, I'd give it back to you.
You don't know what country Hitler was from,
you cut checks to win over the audience. Oh, you make the world aware of how generous you are because you're so insecure. Oh, I took JD to Vegas. I'm going to get him late. Oh, I cut salad checks.
It's I
don't want your monetary sympathy to win over people because you don't have the ability or the confidence to do it on your own.
That's a party.
Wow. What the hell just happened?
I don't know, but I tell you what, Sal walks in on that wrap-up show and unloads this viciousness against Artie.
Yeah.
Sometimes against me, too.
It's all pent up. He sees people who have what he thinks is a better life than he has.
Let me put it this way.
I really hope all of his kids get AIDS and die?
No, not till later, much later.
You're not talking about when they're young.
No, like at least 25.
After gay porn.
Right. Yeah. After they have to go to gay porn because their father's broke.
How much of that, what we just heard, is like
That's the real Sal. That's the point I've been trying to make. You know, so how do you work side by side with a guy like that? I've seen that venom come out before. Not on that level, but
wow. I'll put it a little more calmly. I don't hate you, Artie.
Whatever, Richard.
It just drives us nuts.
What are you, married to him?
What drives you nuts about this?
You're treated special.
Benji, I've been working alongside Benji and I've gotten treated way better than Benji for years.
No, he just explained. You didn't let me finish.
Beer League, by the way, available on DVD.
You didn't let me finish, though.
Yeah.
It just upsets us a little bit when Artie says all we do is make phone calls, say the C word, and sniff balls.
Why do you dwell on what Artie says?
Because we do a lot of work. And
I never said
that. But am I happy with your work?
Yeah.
I am.
But it seems like Artie really puts it down.
When do I say that? When do I ever say that? That's all you do.
Well, to me, like when I said that I didn't want to do acid because I don't want to ruin my ideas, and you were
retarded thing to say, Richard. You said something retarded in this room where you're going to get fucked on.
I know, but it just upsets me.
I don't want to do acid. Who else says that?
Why?
I don't want to do acid because I have great ideas.
Right. But why do you really focus on Artie? Artie always
you've said some things too,
right,
Robin.
Why are you focusing on Artie?
That just already came up yesterday, but
Robin's jealous. She wants you to focus on her.
Well, Robin really...
Yell at me.
Robin said maybe the worst thing that anybody said to me in the world.
Tell me what it is, because I want to top it.
I said something about dying, and Robin goes, who would care if you died anyway?
Oh, God, I really don't care if you died. Man, and I would, as a matter of fact...
Times two.
Who would care if you died a horrible death like scorpions ate your body?
Monty, you're on the air in West Palm, Florida. Thank you.
Hey, Sal has no right to berate Artie like that. I mean, regardless of what he thinks about Artie, Artie is an established, accomplished guy.
Of course.
I mean, that's like somebody like me who's only been doing stuff for a little while saying that I'm just as good or I'm good as this one. It's ridiculous. I would take Sal's job and do it for free. I would leave my wife and kids and go wait tables if I had to. These guys, you know, they're secretly, deep down inside, they're jealous of him. They want to be him.
No, they have such insecurity about their own position, and this is you too, Richard. You have such insecurity about your position. I'm thrilled with you guys. You're not treated second class.
They don't hear one compliment. All they hear is the negative. Of course Artie has said good things about you. I have said good things about you. But you only hear the negative.
What, nobody else gets fucked with on this show?
I know.
What do you think? It's all a kiss ass fest? What are you talking about?
Sal said some wild things in here.
Yeah. I mean, that's real shit.
Places he didn't need to go.
Right.
We just, it comes down to we admire you guys.
Do I have to you don't admire me. You don't admire me.
But you lump yourself in with this Sal. Sal just said Beer League was shit.
Everything was shit that he did.
Do I have to bring in an episode of the Norm Show where I just shine?
I mean, I
walk in here going, I was God's gift to comedy. What are you kidding me? It's a direct opposite.
You know how hard it is? You've been around. You know how hard it is to get a shot on Mad TV?
I know.
It's almost $1 billion to 1.
Listen, that was Sal. I mean, that's not me saying it. I love the movie Elf. Artie was awesome in that.
Richard, everything that comes out of your mouth sounds dumb. You're a dummy. You're a dumb guy. Well, don't say dumb things then.
All right, is there any... I got to move on.
I don't know whether to open this up.
Shove a squirrel in your mouth.
A couple of the guys said that I should come in. They said that Richard isn't necessarily being honest in his dislike for me, which was sort of news to me.
What do you mean?
Is that true? That Richard's under the impression that I don't like him, I don't like his bits, I don't have any respect for him.
Well, he's been saying for a few days that you don't want to hear anything from him.
That's true?
No,
but I think so.
Well, then have it out and say it right now.
It's not that I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear everything. Does that make more sense to you?
Gary's the producer of the show. Producers are supposed to weed shit out. In every show there is, writers pitch stuff to producers. It gets accepted or not accepted.
I know, but
Get over it, you pussy.
But no,
you two are pussies.
You don't know what goes on out there. A lot of times, I'll have something for the show. Like, okay, for instance, Gilbert Gottfried was on the other day.
Right.
Doing his Paul Lynde imitation.
Right.
Oh, my God. This is such a great example.
I have some Paul Lynde clips.
Go ahead.
That I thought would be funny, maybe for you to just play a clip for Gilbert, like, to listen to.
I like that. Okay.
And you saw... But Gary told me not to put a note. Gary just kind of said, no. Gary goes, no,
I'd already played the clips. Let me finish. I had already played the clips for you. I already felt it was going to be weird because as interesting as a Paul Lynde impersonation is to us, there's a whole segment of the audience who hasn't a fucking clue.
So that's
who he
it.
is. So Richard played it for me. I played it for you. You go, and it wasn't even the best Paul Lynde clips. It was from like some stupid Halloween special. So, so Richard's now like, he's talking about Paul Lynde. I go, but this isn't the right place. I'd have to wedge it in, and I made a determination not to bog the show down.
You made the right determination.
But listen to this though. Then later on, Gilbert started doing the impression again. I went back to Gary.
And Gary said no.
No, Gary's finally said, okay, put up a note.
You know why? Because he fucking wore me down. That's my stupidity.
Those clips weren't right.
No, but that's my stupidity. I let him wear me down. I let him doubt. He made me doubt myself because he doesn't fucking stop. You are passive-aggressive to the 100th degree. You don't take no for an answer, ever. But all you know is that I am not recognizing your genius. No is never an answer for you.
But the reason I'm bringing this up is you saw the note and you said, oh, Gilbert, I got something great for you.
The clips were terrible.
No, but you didn't play it. You said, but we're out of time.
Yeah, because I knew the clip. It was that Halloween clip.
Howard heard it and said, no, it's not even, this isn't even on me, but I'll take it anyway.
Matter of fact,
why can't you accept that the clip doesn't work?
As a matter of fact, I did hear it, and it was lame.
But I'd like to have Howard have the option
he
of
did,
playing.
and you fucking said no. See, this is how he doesn't let me be.
But all I wanted to do was put up a note, and you said no.
Passive-aggressive.
You're like a 2-year-old, Richard. You sound like a baby.
Gary is pretty, Gary's 99% of the time right about what I want.
And when you sound right, he gets yelled at. Like this is what everyone's on the same thing.
But I feel like I get yelled at for wanting to just like play.
But you see, Gary can't spend all morning fighting.
And Howard can't listen to absolutely everything. Gary's the filter.
When you say but,
put him there.
Richard, when you say but, what you're really saying to me is, I heard you. Now let me tell you that I didn't hear you.
But I can't just say my point, though?
But you say it over and over and over again. How many times? I probably said no to the Paul Lynde clips 5 or 6 different times. And I took him to Howard anyway to get you off my back, and it still wasn't enough.
You're not talking to Kathy.
I only asked you. I asked you once when Gilbert came in at first, but then Gilbert started doing his imitation. You guys were dying laughing.
You're not getting.
Oh God, Gary, I feel for you, man.
It wasn't a good clip.
Good.
The clip was kind of lame. It was a Halloween clip.
It was also highly visual.
Okay, but all I wanted to do was put up a note for you to say.
It doesn't matter to you that it was not the quality of sound we want on the show.
But I'll yell at Gary if he puts up a clip and the clip sucks.
Right.
And I say that note, I got to stop and process that information. I'm in the middle of doing something with Gilbert. You got to look at it from my end. Right. And then I trust him so much that I see. So when Gary says no, it's no. That's all. And you know what? You can revisit it maybe another time or something, or come and say, Gary, do you mind playing this for Howard after the show so maybe we can get his take on it?
And also,
but all I asked him was twice that day.
You could save yourself some time, Richard, by taking the first no and going to do something that would get him
Howard,
there.
3 times that day, after I'd already played for you on a different day, and you said no.
Yeah, I like your enthusiasm.
But here's another example. Okay, the John the Stutterer harmonica call, which turned out that you guys loved it. It was up on your board for about 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
So about once every 4 days, I go to Gary, hey, can I play that call for Howard?
And Howard, how many times did I ask
so
you?
Mad at me.
How many times did I ask you, were you on the fence about playing it? Like in other words,
4 or 5 times.
Right, so in other words, every time Richard came to me, I would play it for you again.
And I needed time to think about it.
And he needed time to think about it, so it was it. But I'm like, Richard, he's heard it, I'm aware, I asked him about it,
Let it go.
And I gotta tell you
But the
something.
one time I came in and asked you to listen to it,
everything's bought.
You played it right after that. You loved it, and you were like, okay, here,
Sometimes
let's play
say
it.
however instead of
All right, listen.
because I've seen Sal have that blow up about Nick DiPaolo, Jimmy Kimmel, Jon Stewart.
Wow.
Everybody he blows up like that for because he's a little jealous little weasel who would not have a comedy career on any level if he didn't win a radio contest. You won a radio contest, dude. You couldn't stay away from and the other thing is the hostility. So he was me for Halloween.
Yeah.
And the incredible, like, passive-aggressive hostility of being me, you know, the heroin needle and the fact. It's funny, but, I mean, dude, am I Sal for Halloween? Am I? I mean, come on.
No.
That just shows that all he thinks about. If he's not thinking about Howard, he probably thinks about me 24/7. You're nuts. You're nuts.
He's holding up a sign that says
now
die.
says die.
That's brilliant.
And can I just say, Howard, that I don't.
Are you still here?
I'm done with it.
I don't hate Gary. I don't hate anybody. I love everybody on the show, and I'm sorry if I become annoying, but I'm very proud of what me and Sal do.
Okay.
And I do really get like real bummed out if our stuff
On camera for the first time in his life.
All right. Thank you, Richard.
Sal, have you ever auditioned for anything? Have you ever? He's never done that. Of course, he's never done that. Because he sucks. He's a hack. He's a hack. He bails after. He tells me in Detroit, I'll do 15 minutes, Art. I gave him $2,500 for coming with us to Detroit. $2,500. And I said, Sal, I need a full set out of you. I need 15 minutes. He goes, all right, I'm with the big boys now. I'm with Artie and Nick. More bullshit. He bails after 8 minutes because his first joke bombed. You suck. And 8 minutes of your stuff is about Gary's teeth. You are a loser. You're a loser. And I'm going to fucking knock you out. I'm going to fucking go out on the street and knock you the fuck out.
As long as you don't eat me, you fat slob, you do whatever you want.
And then I will eat you.
Gary's teeth, but you do 20 minutes of Jeff the Drunk, you do 20 minutes of Crazy House. Where's their fucking checks? Half of your stand-up's based on whack pack.
It is not.
You do the
You know, you're saying a lie
no,
now.
I don't. You're the one who brought this up.
How much of my DVD is about whack packers, you dope?
I told you I did 10 minutes. I did 8, and I
told me you did 15 minutes.
I told them.
Is Levy still here? You told me.
I told them.
And I paid you anyway because you're a charity case. You're a charity case.
A charity wouldn't ask for money.
You're a charity case.
I turned the money
feel
down,
sorry for your children who are going to have to endure with the video of you putting your balls in a redneck's mouth when they're in high school. Those poor kids.
You know what? At least
while after Howard's retired and you're begging Jim Brewer to fucking suck a cock on his show.
Let me tell you something. At least I have a relationship with my children, regardless of what I do. That
I plan on talking to my kids eventually.
Means right now, you lying heroin addict.
I'll tell you what. At least my kids will be funny.
Jackass.
Your kids.
Yeah, they'll be
your kids. I can't wait to see how funny your kids are going to be.
Oh my goodness.
I'm really going to beat him up. And if I get 5, fine. Richard and Sal can sit here.
Well, thank you for the gift, though, Artie, today.
If Artie eats Sal, I'm going to check his blood sugar.
Check my hack level.
Al Rosenberg would like to chime in. He's been on the show.
Yeah.
Al used to work on our show.
You have some insight?
Well, it's obvious. Sal wants Artie's chair. He wants to sit where Artie is.
Oh, God, what the show would sound like then, man.
But what he doesn't realize is that Artie is a huge talent. Artie's very funny. To be funny and keep that show moving and say things that are part of it and be, it's just too much. You can't just put another guy in that chair.
Look, I've said this before. There's over 100 guys who could do what I do. But guess what? Sal ain't one of them. Sal is not one of them.
Do we have like a Rupert Pupkin situation here where Sal thinks he can be Artie?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not interested in that.
And he doesn't understand why you don't see that?
I'll tell you something else. I would warn Richard.
Richard, that Sal is bringing you down.
That's why
Sal
I should
is
separate them.
Al Rosenberg says that, and Al knows something about show. Thank you, Al.
Sal inspires me. When we start talking about bits and stuff, as everybody always says, oh, they're dumb, they just call women the C word, but Sal is a brilliant mind when it comes to putting together funny bits, and we've got.
I disagree.
I think so.
Well, hold on.
Don't you agree?
But Sal doesn't hear when I compliment him.
Like, what other show has, like, we have prank calls consistently, new ones every day.
I think our team right now is the best team in radio, and right now this team is the best team that's ever been on the show. You understand what I'm saying?
There you go. So there's your compliment.
There's your compliment.
You know, but you have turned into a negative. You know, with all your whining and dredging every fucking day.
Can I say, I've never said a thing. I've held this in, and this is my fault.
Go ahead.
The thing is that I'm not jealous of Artie. I've made it clear yesterday. Hold on, Artie, please. On the wrap-up show, that you deserve to be in that chair. That you are the funniest guy. That you this stuff hasn't been brought up. That he is consistently funny. That he's an A-game player.
You just said everything he's done in his career was horrible. But the problem is that I did say that out of anger and pain, because every time me and Richard come in here, he says we have the mentality of fifth graders. Oh, stop
that
it!
Is not true.
This is when you don't argue.
You see, you're not understanding.
But I'm saying what happens. That me and Richard.
Let me explain
Artie, I can only take so much of every day.
When you Sal, listen to me.
Go ahead,
Richard. Listen. When you come in here and do a childish prank, which is hysterical. If Artie says you guys have the brains of a fifth grader, that adds to the levity of it. In other words, you're doing a fifth-grade stunt.
And
we don't look at it that way.
No, it's not a bad thing.
I know. And
when you're doing boner fights and sticking your balls in someone's face...
Or painting each other's sacks.
Do you really think that's brilliant comedy?
No,
it's not. But I'm saying it's not compared to the other shit you do, the phone calls. It's dumb. It's something. And everybody has a human reaction to it. Mine is that it's gay and gross, and I bring it up. Right. I mean, you want me to hold that in? That's not what the show is.
But that's why we get upset when Artie says that's all we do.
All right.
We write a lot of stuff out.
Why is Artie defining who you are? Go back.
It ain't the Artie Lang show, guys.
The only person who defines what you are is me, whether you work here or not.
But the thing is that I want to make it clear.
Artie's not defining you. Artie's being Artie.
I'm not jealous of Artie.
You are.
No, but
You're
I'm not
jealous of anyone who is
angry at
You
the
don't like that Artie came to my house this summer.
No, it doesn't matter.
You can't
We're probably all eating at him yet.
No, it's not. Hold on, Robin, please. Listen to me.
You're having problems with your wife.
Right, that's true. I have high blood pressure. No, and the thing is that like I said yesterday,
thank you.
I made it perfectly clear how I feel about Artie, but I feel like every time I speak, he gives me a jab, and he jabs, and he jabs, and he jabs, and then you have the final blow. Right. What am I supposed to do?
It's an argument. I mean,
I know, and
you're giving me shit too. Can I come in here and say I'm fed up with the heroin song parodies or anything else? But that's not the case.
I know that, but I'm trying to.
You were crying, weren't you?
I'm trying to keep.
Were you just crying?
No, not at all. Not at all. I wouldn't cry.
Did somebody catch him crying?
Yeah, somebody caught him crying.
Go ahead. Produce the tape. I wasn't crying at all. I wouldn't cry about this bullshit.
Who wrote that note?
Whoever wrote that note should be fired.
I don't know if your kid's die of AIDS. I'll take that back. But everything else, go fuck you.
Benji, go ahead.
Well, Ronnie signaled to me that Sal's crying, and I verified with Ronnie.
He looked like he's crying.
Yeah.
So another great bit by Ronnie.
No, he looks like he's crying. Look at it.
But the thing is
Why are you making fun of Ronnie, man?
All right, I got to move on with my show.
I
want to go home at some point.
We're team players, and we support everything that you guys do.
Thank you.
And Ronnie has a job to do. Ronnie said, "You guys are little faggots. Take what you dish out." Or get the fuck out of here.
We did.
No, you don't.
I gave it back
to you. You get genuinely mad. Ronnie hasn't. It isn't.
But a lot of times,
take what you give out.
A lot of times, what you say about us is sincere and mean-spirited.
Oh, like it's not sincere what you say.
Beer League was okay.
So now it's okay. So it moved up from being the biggest piece of shit.
Well, again, like Artie said, it's an argument. It's an argument.
Where are you at?
I'm at where I played a wrap-up show yesterday. That's where I'm at. I said Artie deserves to be there. He's the funniest guy on the show, and he holds up 5 hours a day.
That's not all you said, though.
Yeah, and then I was asked by you guys, what's the comparisons, and I gave it.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I gave an answer to what I was asked.
And I walked into this show 7 years ago saying, "Hey, look, I'm Bill Murray, Howard, and I don't, you better fucking watch how you treat me."
Because you have confidence as a comedian, it disturbs Sal. He thinks that's arrogance. It's not arrogance, Sal.
It doesn't disturb me. What disturbs me is that we work together as a team, and sometimes we feel like we're getting jabbed by the guy instead of, we help each other out.
Thank you.
I'd always help Artie. Artie's helped me, but we feel like he constantly.
So what's the problem?
We feel like lately that you constantly just dig at us, and we
take it. Dave, you're on the air in Boston.
What is the show about? It's the Howard Stern show.
Yes, Dave.
Hey, thanks, Howard. It's Dump Truck. I really think you've got a budding personnel issue going on here. I mean, the thing about Artie is that, Artie is bulletproof when it comes to fucking with him, criticism, and that's the genius of Artie. He can take shots, and he can turn it into something funny without making it personal on the person taking digs on him. And, Sal, there's a lot of immaturity there that has to happen, and I'm starting to wonder if maybe these guys feel they should get their own radio show.
No, not at all.
Well,
and we've been asked that, and we don't want the only person we want to work for is you.
We don't want to be in radio if you retire.
People said in 3 years of our release, would you work for Bub or Pharrell? We love those guys, but we don't want to do it.
But that's dumb.
Joe.
Your kids don't want to hear that. What are you talking about? You should want to work more.
First of all, Artie doesn't employ me, you stupid douchebag. He puts me on his shows
Steve,
and he paid me.
You don't need to insult my audience. Steve, go ahead. You're on the air.
Howard.
Yes.
Yeah, listen, I think Sal needs to take a time out, smoke a fat joint, relax. He's got a lot going on in his life. Listen, Sal.
Yeah, he's off the chart.
We all need that.
Maybe you're right. Give Artie more respect than that. Artie is the man. He's done so much before Howard Stern. And Artie, I'm the one who called you last week and told you you should have bust a cap in Sal's ass. But Sal just needs a little time out.
All right, thank you, Steve. Okay, final comment from Anne-Marie. Then I must get to John Hine and Robin. Please help me get through this. Yes, Anne-Marie, go ahead.
Hey, Howard.
Yes.
I love you.
I love you.
Why don't you give Artie a cupcake? I think he's got a sugar low. He's arguing with everybody all day.
It's a tough day for Artie. That's true. I think he's all on the edge.
He could be irritable because of the food today.
He's usually, you know what? He's very feisty today. He's hungry.
Of course, it's like you're poking a bear.
As Crackhead Bob would say, I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
No, I do work closely with these guys, and it makes me question. I mean, I don't want to work with people who don't like me.
Right. No, and just for the record, I'm not singling out Artie. Robin has been a lot meaner to me than Artie ever has.
Chris, you're on the air.
I'm just going by what I heard on the wrap-up show.
Yes, Chris, you're on the air.
And I
Albany.
applaud Robin for that. I'm jealous of her for that.
Allow Chris to have a word, and then we can move on. Yes.
But he doesn't write any songs about me.
I'm sorry. 1 second. One at a time. Chris, go ahead.
Shut up.
Yeah. Chris, go ahead.
This is hands down our greatest radio I've heard in a long time from the show. This is you guys got to do this every month.
Well, these things can't be fabricated. They've got to be real. Martin, you're on the air in Surprise, Arizona. Talk about how you're pissed off at Robin for not returning your DVDs.
Yeah, I loaned you.
Keeping them forever.
Oh my God, I loaned them to you in 2004
I
at
have
K-Rock.
something of yours.
Oh, and then another thing she did, I gave her, I wrote this horror movie script right away. I give it to her right away. She goes to you, she was like, oh, I threw it in the trash. And you said, the first thing you said when you heard about it, you was like, oh, it must be horrible.
Of course. Adam, you're on the air.
It's a horror movie. It was horrible.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes.
First, congratulations. You're the master at tweaking. This is another masterpiece of yours.
Yes. I had nothing to do with it.
Number two, I got to defend Sal and Richard a little bit. I think Artie sleeping on the air is probably the last straw.
Yeah, well, it was something that happened organically while we were working, and I thought it was funny material. Artie doesn't claim that was his best material. It wasn't material.
I don't have a defense for that, but the truth is, if Howard couldn't make it funny, then I'd get really reprimanded. This is not a normal job, sir. You got to admit that.
All right, if I would like to top this all off with the Paul Lynde clips. All right, thank you, boys.
Oh,
guys,
that would be awesome.
The one thing here, though, that we missed was that, when he was screaming that Artie gets to go and approach the guests, and he can't.
Right.
We went through this already, Robin.
I think it was Will who said, don't you think Howard trusts Artie and Artie's judgment, and Artie's going to make something funny out of it, and he doesn't trust you, Sal?
Right. That point is taken. I understand.
All right, thank you. Good.
Big thing that came over on the wrap-up show yesterday, just as a post.
Oh, please, you're telling me. I got to get out of here. I'm so late.
Listen to today's wrap-up show. I'll bring it up again.
Bring it up again. What is the thing?
Matter of fact, though, I was reprimanded when I was working here for about a year. This is a perfect example. When I asked David Wells for his autograph, and Howard gave me shit about it. Yeah. That's it. And you know what? It never happened again. That's how you operate it.
Gary, what did you want to say?
The guys were pointing out that Craig Gass was sitting in the Jackie chair and fell asleep, and you got mad at him. And I said, the difference is Artie's been here for 6 years, and this was a guy attempting to get a job. There's an enormous difference.
Of course.
When you're trying out for a job, you don't fall asleep.
Yeah, the enormous difference is Artie is enormous.
Craig Gass with Artie. All right, thank you.
Believe me, that first 6 months, I would not have fallen asleep.
All right, guys, thank you. Exactly.
The staff picks of 2007.
Come on,
The top Howard Stern Show moments of the year. Now presenting Gary's Picks. Only on Howard 100.
Everything was brewing, and we should have seen it coming, and we didn't. But Sal and Richard pissed off Artie. Sal came in and said some horrible things about Artie. Artie got up and threw a CD case at Sal and went to go at him and hit him. And it's one of those things where it's funny, and then all of a sudden it got really serious. But still unbelievably compelling, and that's why it's one of my favorite moments of the year.
Peculiar power running through his body defies all analysis.
Howard Stern Show.
You know what song this is?
Happened in the halls.
I've never. Well, they stay in their room, and I walk around, and they're not to be found. I've never been in a feud this serious before. I really haven't.
How do you feel? Do you feel like you want to make things better or fix everything up, or are you willing to have things be awkward?
I don't like it to be awkward, and part of me's starting to think, like, it's all fun and new now, but it might start affecting the show. Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
Finally.
Here's a man who refused to come in up until now. It's Sal Governal.
Good morning, everybody.
Did you have a statement to make, or are you going to hide behind JD's skirt?
Oh, and Richard, too.
And Richard, too. Uh-oh, there's a statement coming out of Richard and Sal. This is a new development. Howard 100 News is rushing to the scene.
We're just doing this to avoid that awful wrap-up show. So. Anyway.
And we have Robin to thank for us. She gave us a nice talk earlier.
Yeah.
Here's
There was a meeting between you and Robin?
Yes.
And at what point in the show did this occur?
At a commercial
About
break.
2 hours ago.
Interesting.
The one who
She's
wants
a
you dead?
And she agreed she would be our moderator for this, if you don't mind, Howard.
Why would I agree to that?
Well, no, just to make sure they get their statements out, because I thought they had some interesting things to say.
All right, go ahead.
Here's my statement.
Thanks for waiting till 10:45 to do this.
She came in and talked to us right before you did the Slash Cousin Brucey interview. You were so busy, we didn't want to interrupt.
The thing is, here it is with Artie in a nutshell. Artie knows how I feel about him, and I know how Artie feels about me, and we do have a good relationship. What bothered me is me and Richard are very passionate, as you know, and insecure about our work on the show. We go nuts over it. We drive Gary crazy. We drive you, Howard, crazy. And we don't mind any of the jokes, any of the ball breaking, any of the raccoon references, any of the emotional friend, which I've said a million times is funny, and the roasts are great. What hurts us is that when Artie takes a jab at our work that we're passionate about the show, if he says that our jack and rods are redundant, if he calls us fifth graders, if he says any kid could do our prank calls, if he says we take an easy route by using cunt in calls, and he comes back and he says that Richard Carisi is a hack comedian, we're just up-and-coming guys. And we respect and admire Artie, and we want to be a part of the family, and we would love his help. So I don't care about anything that you do, and I've laughed over everything you've done, and I applaud the ball breaking, but we are passionate about what we do for the Howard Stern Show, and that's where we feel we're being ribbed, and we're being kind of jabbed at.
And we're not mad. We're not mad at Artie. We're just get hurt when things get said.
I listened to this. And this is a quote from you yesterday, Sal. I'll read it back to you.
I know, but see, what you're doing is
wait a second now. You said you're not mad, but let's find out.
Yesterday, okay.
You said the following, and I'm just reading from a transcript.
Right.
I'm not putting anything in your mouth. You knew you.
Well, they were stupid.
You sucked on Mad TV. You sucked on the Norm Show. Beer League sucks shit. It's fucking terrible.
It's a lot of projects to suck in. Huh?
It was a flop. It was in 18 theaters and made $250,000 in America. I could shit that out of my ass. For you to tell me about comedy and what people tell me. Okay. No, that is a quote. So don't tell me you weren't mad. That's not true.
Howard, I never said I wasn't mad.
I just said it.
So compared to the movies you were in,
Robin,
a lot more
moderate
than that.
Well, let us say this.
Let me finish.
What I talked about with them before was that all of the things they did yesterday only caused a big break. It didn't really express how they truly felt. It was lashing out in anger, and they really didn't say to you what they actually feel.
So what happened was with Artie taking those digs at what we do, our work, not other stuff, which we don't have a problem with. It festered in us, and we said, you know, we're not even going to deal with Artie anymore. We're not going to let him make fun of our calls and say they suck. Let him say all the shit he says about our work, and we'll just sit in the back and do the best that we can. And then it came to the breaking point where I came on the show, and Artie said, you guys are glorified whack packers that won a contest. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. I was personally offended from a work perspective, not a personal one. And the only angle I could take back at Artie was diminishing his work as a professional. That was the only angle. I wasn't going to go beneath the belt. That wasn't my intent. My intent was like, hey, you keep knocking me. I'm breaking my ass every day. I'm passionate about what I do. I love what I do. Where can I go? I could say, well, I think you sucked on Mad TV and you sucked on Beer League. Is that true? No. But it was to a certain degree, maybe. But that was the angle.
What is this?
Not ridiculous. No, it's so phony.
It's not phony at all.
What is this?
See, and no,
it's bullshit.
No, and that's the truth, and that's the.
But that's why we didn't come in earlier, because no matter what we say, we can't defend ourselves.
You said all that stuff before I mentioned that you won a contest. Yes, you did.
Tell me when.
Pittsburgh, Pete. I know Pete.
Yeah, Howard, thinking about you again. You're in your 50s.
Right, I'm 55, Pete, and in January 12th, I will be 56 years old, and I can't even imagine it.
Yeah, you're on your way up to close to Ronnie's age. He's going to be 60. And
well, let's not rush me up to 60 yet, but...
Yeah, it takes a couple of years to get there.
Yeah, give me a break.
He has a full term of college before he's 60.
Right, it's a lifetime.
I'm 30 years old now, so you're 50. You're 56.
5.
So what is it like in your 50s? That's what I want to know. Like, are you enjoying your life still?
You know, Pete, I am enjoying my life from the sense that I'm very, very happily married. I enjoy my weekends and time off, and I'm enjoying work more than ever. So it's a great place to be. My kids are older, which is kind of nice. They're doing well. I'm happy to see that. I'm out of the woods in the sense that, you wonder when you have kids, gee, are they going to grow up to be good kids? Are they going to be normal? Are they going to give you a hard time?
What kind of adults are these going to be?
So I feel out of the woods. I think they're good kids. They're nice kids. And I love them. And the thing is, so that's a good place to be. I wouldn't want to go back into my 30s or 20s and start over professionally. I like where I'm at in terms of a radio performer. I know how to get behind a mic and do a show and all of that. So all that's good. Listen, I came to a conclusion a long time ago about radio specifically, that the person who doesn't grow or change is dull and remains dull and will never, ever succeed. You constantly have to evolve and change. And I don't mean just from, like, whether or not you play the dating game on the air. I mean your whole lifestyle, your opinions, your view of the world has to evolve, or else it's a dead issue. You're done
at a certain point. You're acting if your life is changing, but your character isn't.
And I know I get criticized. Some people love the Billy West years. Some people love the Jackie years. Some people love the Artie years. Some people love this. They love when I did the Channel 9 shows. But I've always tried to just give you me honestly, and that's the same. And this is what it is. This is what it is. And when people get tired of it, if I sense that my audience is done with me, I will leave.
That will never happen.
Well, there you go, Pete. I like your optimism.
That's never going to happen. There's nothing else out there that's really going to captivate people like your show has.
You know why I'm good on the radio, too? I was thinking about me the other day. Most of my day, I think about me.
That's a surprise. You were thinking about you?
99% of the time, I think about me. And then the other 1% is the rest of you. So I was thinking about my radio career. I was reflecting on it. And it was hard not to, because everywhere in my office is a piece of memorabilia about my career.
You've gotten it to the point where you can't not think about it.
I fully embrace myself. I never used to, but now I do. Every award, everything is surrounding me.
It's like a museum.
It's a museum to me.
The Hall of Howard.
Hall of Howard. Radio Hall of Fame. Because believe me, what else is there? And so I was thinking about me, and the reason I'm good on the radio is, A, it's a certain ability, certain talent. That's one thing you got to have. B, there's 4 things you got to have. B, what was A again?
A was that you got to have a certain talent.
You got to have a certain ability. B, you got to be...
What is that certain ability? You didn't have it when you first started.
Well, no, it's a certain sensibility about the world, a certain sense of humor, a certain understanding about how to tell a story.
It was in him, though.
It was in me. Yeah. I mean...
Okay, well, what you're saying then is...
It's your family and the way you're raised.
You had I don't know what you're saying.
What I'm saying is that many times I'd be sitting around my family and we had to tell a story.
Yeah.
And my father would say to me, "Stop. It's boring." Now, these were harsh words, but they
fixed you right.
They fixed me. They made me nuts. They made me neurotic. It was mean, but nevertheless, they go, no, edit yourself. Most parents today listen and indulge every word a kid says. And quite frankly, they're healthier, but they're big bores. You hear some of my callers. They can't even, they do a wind-up for 15 minutes.
Yeah, they can't even get into the story.
They're bores because they've been overindulged and they've been told that everything they say is brilliant.
So what I'm just trying to decipher here is it still is something you learned. It wasn't an innate ability. You say your parents molded you.
Yes, that's true.
I agree.
Well, not just your parents. It's just but there also is it's like a great musician. They have a musical ability. Yes, they had to sit in their room and learn the guitar, let's say, Eddie Van Halen. But there's a certain ear they have and a certain ability to understand music. There is a talent there.
Okay, so then it's 2 separate things.
That's right. It is a physical sort of gift you're born with. B, it's also the way you're raised. That gift could remain dormant. Like if Eddie Van Halen hadn't had certain surroundings, if he hadn't had certain influences in terms of music, it might never have emerged. He might not have felt comfortable enough to encourage that. So it's partly environmental. It's partly sort of what you're born with. A certain ability to speak.
Okay, so you had a certain awareness of the world and a sensitivity and a sensibility toward information and outside events.
For example, my father was in radio. He was an engineer, but I was exposed to this idea of the microphone, people speaking into it. He was also a recording engineer. He had a recording studio.
So that was instrumental.
That's part of it, yes. Instrumental is an okay word to use. That's fine.
I mean, you would not have been on the radio without that, is what you're saying.
It's one of the components. That's right. Now, also...
The stars aligned, Howard. It might have been from God. You have to give God a little credit once in a while.
Well, yeah, that's what I call the thing that you're born with. This ability to look at the world and say, gee, Mad Magazine's got the right idea. There's satire there. You have to have a sense of humor and appreciation. Sense of humor has to be cultivated by your environment, but also you have to have that ability. It's sort of an ability somewhere inside of you.
Yeah, now there's another thing. Where does sense of humor come from?
Well, as Pete puts it, if you believe in God, or if you believe in the universe, nature, whatever it is, or the genetic sort of soup that we come from, it's just sort of something that's there. Like Beethoven had his musical thing, and it came out early.
That's how Artie made it to the point where he's at now.
Well, hold on. We'll get to Artie. Artie's a whole other case. Artie defies all this.
I also think it has to do with the atmosphere. It's a combination of being born with it and the atmosphere you grow up in that develops.
That's correct. Now, the third component, which is essential in any success story. Now, I don't care what you apply this to. Pete, what do you want to be in life?
What do I want to be in life? I'm not even sure at this point.
All right, okay.
Well, we were specifically talking about you. You said you were thinking about
But here is the other...
these 4 things.
Here is the essential component. You talked about the essential component. Here's the third thing is the essential component. And that is... I want to see who's paying attention at this point.
He's making it up right now.
No, I'm not. I'm going to tell you what it is.
All right.
It is having the ability to practice. Now, what do I mean by this?
Oh, you read this in a book a few
Outliers.
weeks ago.
I read some of Outliers, and I responded to it, but some of this is my own thoughts all along. Outliers says 10,000 hours are required to be an expert. Now, I've never added up the hours, but the hours of me watching television, listening to Brad Crandall on the radio, putting this together, seeing my father, and then actually having the time to develop this. WRNW, I was working a 6-hour shift, 6 days a week, and I got hours and hours of practice in college. I go down to the college radio station and start to practice. I started to practice all over the country what it is I wanted to do. Now, it's no different than when you talk to a guitar player who spent his entire childhood playing the guitar in his room over and over and over again. There are guys who have done that and never succeeded. They're okay guitar players. But the ones who have this, as I say, born talent, it comes out. But they have to put in the hours of practice.
Well, there are different levels of this born talent.
That's right.
Even the guy who doesn't play as well as Eddie Van Halen has a born musical talent.
That's right.
He's better than me at picking up a guitar.
Howard, you completed all the requirements that it took to get to where you're at.
Yes, but you didn't even hear the fourth requirement. You don't know what the fourth requirement is. I told you, thousands of hours of practice.
This guy will never complete anything.
Well, he wants to be a professional pot smoker.
ADD.
His ADD. He wants to be a professional marijuana user.
He wants Adderall.
Right. He's on his way to his 10,000 hours of practice.
He's on his way to 10,000
The
Adderall.
fourth thing, and I think this is very, very important, is being born in the right time frame. Now, this is something from Outliers, and this is a key component. When you hear about Bill Gates, who is a huge success, Bill Gates, if you go through his history, actually was born at a time where he had available to him as a kid, because his parents were into some sort of computer science, they knew a guy who could, back then you couldn't even get into a computer lab or get on a computer. When he was born, somehow the circumstances led up to he was allowed free hours, endless free hours in a computer lab where he got to work this stuff out. Him and his friends were like into this thing like crazy. If they physically couldn't get the computer time as children, in other words, he had a certain privilege that you don't have, I don't have. He was in the right place. I had a certain privilege. I got to see my father work with these guys with the microphone. I got to visit the radio station, WHOM. I got to watch the guys work. I was mesmerized. I was mesmerized by this. I got to see something a lot of people didn't get to see. This Bill Gates, when they describe him, he got to do this in a lab. No one did. He got it was too expensive for people at that time.
Right, because computers were huge things. They didn't fit in people's homes.
Yeah, and I don't know the terminology of what it was he got for free, but it's a certain access to programming that you could only get programming time for an hour, and it was a fortune.
And you wouldn't waste this on a kid.
Right. He was allowed to go in there at night and use it all night and day. And that's what led to it. So it's part luck.
Well, let me ask you something.
Being born at the right time, and part having an ability.
What about these people who are born with nothing?
Well, people who are born with nothing, it appears that they're born with nothing, but it's not always the case. Now, let me give you an example. You sit and you look at professional hockey players. That's what they do in the book Outliers. And the guy points out, he says, you know, everyone in Canada, Canada is a huge hockey place. And they say, well, you know, why did this guy become a pro? He didn't have anything more than anybody else. Maybe he had some talent, this and that. But it was the mere fact that they were born either January, February, or March. Now, you would never pick up on this, but here's what happens. In the school system, it's a full year. The kids who are born January, February, March are physically bigger. There's huge differences in physicality. You're almost a year older.
Just from January, February, March?
You're almost a year older than someone born in December. And what would happen in hockey, for example, kids would go to school and the coaches would look for some star players.
And they take the bigger kids.
The bigger kids and also the kids who were older. They were a little more mature. They could understand a little better. They did better in school. They've even found that kids born January, February, March, because they're that almost a year older, they do better in school in the beginning. They get more attention from teachers. Therefore, they thrive a little more, get a little more encouragement, are noticed more, and they actually do better at certain things. But the hockey example is one where you are physically bigger. Now, they did find some hockey players who excelled, who were born in, let's say, later months. But the majority, the Canadian hockey players, because of the system and the public school system, January, February, March, I think it was something like 70%.
Yeah, but they at least had a hockey system. I'm talking about somebody who winds up
what I'm saying
being
is,
the president of South Africa, born in, what did Nelson Mandela have?
Well, what I'm saying is we don't know that because I don't know the history of Nelson Mandela, but there could be something as simple, Robin, as the day he was born. Because who would pick up on that with hockey?
Know if, the day he was born was very healthy.
I said not that, but there are circumstances that lead to somebody becoming great.
Or Dikembe Mutombo, whatever his name is, he was in Africa and they found him as, what in the world?
He was 8'2", Robin.
Yeah, but you still got to go find him. He didn't get here on his own.
Anyway, that is why it is difficult to even pluck anyone out and say, here's a radio show, or here's a TV show. It takes, like we were talking yesterday, they took David Lee Roth, a rock star, a guy who had spent his years practicing that and obviously excelled.
He's a good rock star.
That's right. And they said, go on the radio. Go do a radio show. Well, of course it was destined to fail. We all knew it. For some reason, the radio executives didn't know it.
Yeah, there were tons of people who didn't know it,
right.
Howard, and they had power, and they put him there.
They did, but we all knew it. My audience knew it. You knew it. I knew it.
It would have been like you touring as lead singer of Van Halen.
Exactly. It's funny that David Lee Roth didn't know it. It's funny. I remember interviewing David Lee Roth. I invited him in to say, hey, David's going to take over our morning show, and I remember he walked in with kind of a swagger, and I remember why. I think he was on edge. I think he was thinking that I was going to put him down and and ridicule him for taking over our show, and I didn't. I was just the opposite. Every time he sort of got a little confrontational with me, I showered him with love. Really, right. I said, "Hey, David, I wish you the best." And I think it took him like into
by
surprise. Yes, it took. He was like, "Whoa!"
He was defensive.
He was defensive that day. He really was. I remember it very well. And I don't think I'm projecting that. I think he really was.
Oh no, it was absolutely true.
Yeah, and and I was just, and then when I was just saying to him, "Hey, I really wish you the best and hope you do well," but and then he kind of in his arrogance said to me, and this is David, in typical David, he says to me, man, I'm used to speaking in front of audiences as big as 300,000 people. You think this is something to me? This isn't a big deal to me. I've been doing this my whole life. And
no, that's not what he said exactly. What he said was, this is the greatest opportunity for me because in a stadium, I could only speak to that many people.
Right.
Now I'm going to get to speak to all these millions of people. And you quietly pointed out that who said there are going to be millions for you?
Yeah, and I tried to say to him that day that you don't just automatically yes, millions of people show up to see Van Halen.
Yeah.
This is different. This is you. You're out there. You have a microphone. It's blank space. It's a canvas. And you've got to fill it with something entertaining that your audience will find compelling. And I knew this was a daunting task. I mean, this is not something easily done.
That people would show up for him talking.
Right. And they'd given him a couple of practice shows in Boston, and I guess someone had heard this stuff. And really, David was not prepared. The guy would have needed his, as they say in Outliers, 10,000 hours of practice, really. And who even knows if he has that talent anyway? He didn't. Who knows if he had one of the 4 requirements?
The show was okay.
Yeah, I mean, listen, everyone has a story to tell. I could listen to someone on the radio and tell them what they need to do.
But can they do it? That's the other thing. It's a matter of, can you actually do it?
When I hear someone on the radio, I go, oh, here's how you fix that. But then I go, well, if they're not going to hear that, how are they ever going to fix it?
And you would feel that way towards everybody. That's the thing. You would put your mind beliefs above everybody else's in the world.
What?
In radio,
In
yes.
radio.
In radio, I believe I'm as good as it gets. That's how I really do believe. And I'm not saying it from arrogance. I'm not saying it out of any sort of pompous notion. I don't feel about that way about anything in my life. I go to a psychiatrist 3 times a week and I go, I don't even know how to be. I don't even know how to be a human being.
You don't know how to be you.
I don't even know how to exist. It's pathetic in there. I mean, it really is. You would think that I was an entire mess. But nevertheless, when it comes to this, radio, I mean, I'm as competent and as I am the Beethoven of radio.
Well, I said it early on. I couldn't understand how other people couldn't see how much you knew. And when they were, when we first started, when we were at DC 101, and they would sit in the room and they'd start trying to tell you things, I was like, don't they realize he's the smartest person in this room?
Well, you know what?
Don't they know they should be listening to him?
It led to a lot of frustration. It really did on my part.
I'm sure.
I would go home and sit there and go, why do I would visualize the whole thing, and I'd say, why don't they get this? Why don't they let me loose? I don't get it. I mean, when Pig Virus and Dom Fioravanti and
they were the worst.
And
John Hayes. That was another one.
I mean, all of them. I sat there in a room and I said, this is like it would be as if Eddie Van Halen had to get guitar lessons from me. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Can you imagine people trying to tell Einstein what he should be doing?
Here's what you ought to do with that brain of yours.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that annoying to me. And I don't have this ability at anything else. It's this. I get this. I know what to do with this. Give me a fucking microphone. Give me a room full of my crew. And let the symphony begin.
And that's what Sirius Satellite Radio has been to you, Howard. It's the pinnacle of your career.
I'll tell you why.
You're respected, and you have the power there. You don't got to...
I know, I'm not respected. There's still people who don't believe I know what I'm talking about. Believe it or not.
Who?
I don't have to say names. They still think they know better than me. But I'm going to tell you something. One thing about here, I get more respect, and there's another thing I get. For the most part, I'm left alone, and this is the smartest thing you can do. Every time certain people poke their nose into this and start to mess around with my people, and I hate to be cryptic, but when they start to mess with my people, when they start to offer them jobs, when they start to tell them how to do their job, it is as I look at them as flies who have no conception of what is going on. And I look at them and I go, how dare you question what we're... I don't even mind questioning. Questioning's good. But for God's sakes, what makes you think you know better than we do? Don't come in here and inflict your pain on us. Sure, listen, I'm not above criticism. I know there are things I do that are very boring on the radio. This might be boring on the radio. But for the most part, we're able to hit some home runs out of the park.
And stay around.
And stay around for the party.
There'll be one today.
That's right. Right now, there might not be a home run, but there will be one later. I can almost guarantee it.
You can't hit one every time.
Right.
Look, there are no slumps here.
That's right. We come in to do a show. And so, the reason I flourish here is, number one, they have an understanding to leave me alone. And by leave me alone, they're smart about it. They say, listen, we think you know what you're doing.
Here's a tough question. What sense does it make to not promote that you're going to come back to Sirius for no matter how long it is? So people can resubscribe, new people will join on, they're secure that you're going to be there. And we know you know this already.
I don't know what you're saying.
What I'm saying is, why wouldn't you tell everybody, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be around here. The radio show is going to continue.
Because I don't know that that's true. And I'm not going to lie to my audience.
He's claiming you know this already.
No, I don't know. I had a conversation. I had 5 conversations this weekend with my agent
5
about this. Yeah, because he claims I'm unavailable to talk to him. I go, it's just the opposite, Don. He's the one that's not in the office on Friday and Monday.
Oh, my God. You can't find him.
I said, listen, I call you as soon as you call me. So we made an appointment to talk, and we got into some really good conversation. And we had like 5 conversations about this very topic. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I do know what I want to do. I do know, Pete.
Yeah.
But I don't know that Sirius is going to go for it. You know what? If Sirius and I sat down in an easy way and sat down and said, here, let's continue on, it would never be that easy because there are things that I would like to be able to do, and there are things that I want to go and do, and I don't know that they're going to go for it. I have something in my mind where perhaps we could continue here.
They have to go for it.
They don't
have to do anything.
They don't have to do anything. Listen.
You created them.
No.
Look.
I did not. It was here before I... granted, I think they would have gone... I think Sirius would have been out of business had we not gone.
Look, he created a lot of things in radio.
Right.
And they let him go.
Right. And we see what happens when they let me go.
Well, they let you go, but they still let you go.
But they do... Listen, I don't know, Pete, if it'll make sense to the company. And I am... Listen, I am a loyal supporter of this company. I love this company. I think satellite radio must stay around. I think it's terrific, and I think it's only going to get better. But the fact of the matter is, and by the way, someone said to me, you know how you say amazing on the radio? I say the fact of the matter is way too much. I was criticized for that.
Oh, dear.
But the fact of the matter is that we could possibly be around some more here, but who knows? Pete, if I had the answer and I could tell you, I would give it to you.
Waiting for it.
I don't know that it's going to be so easy to bang out a deal.
Man.
I don't know.
I'll tell you why this show is successful. The fact of the matter is Robin's amazing.
Well, that's right. That's right. You want to know something? And I'm going to take credit for Robin. Full credit.
Full credit.
Because
you didn't give birth to me. Give somebody
everything
something.
but let me tell you something. My ability to recognize Robin's greatness is what we're talking about.
And your chemistry, absolutely.
That's right.
Well, I recognize the chemistry. Let me take credit for that.
Okay.
Yeah, Robin.
Actually, I take credit for recognizing his genius.
That's right.
Her heart might be broke.
What?
Just not being around Howard every day. That's going to break your
Well,
heart.
that would break her
some
heart.
people may not realize I was not going to take the job they were offering me until they played a tape of him. And then I said, I'm taking the job just to meet him because he's
that's
incredible.
True. That's true.
And that's when you started wanting him sexually.
That was it.
How many years have you been pining away from me?
Man.
By the way, nobody's taking credit for Benji's contribution.
Oh, Jesus.
No, but that's just the point. Artie being a part of the show, Fred, Benji. These are people that I've chosen to work with, and they've chosen to work with me. And these are all good people, and that's part of it, too. You can't just have some schlubs.
Yeah, don't worry about them, Mo. That's not your responsibility.
I do, as a matter of fact. Or the fact of the matter is...
That's amazing.
That's right.
You've done enough for them.
I have several lucrative offers. I could be on The Real Housewives of Orange County as a fake husband.
There you go.
Fred has a lot of money saved.
Who knows what Fred's up to? You know, no one knows with Fred. How you doing over there, Fred?
I'm doing fine.
Let's get off of this topic and move on to something. How
actually,
are you?
I think
Is
it's
it
pretty
time to
good
check in with Fred?
that you talk about. I think people should be fascinated about what it takes to become a guy at the top.
That's right.
But not everybody has the ability, so why listen?
I don't know. Maybe
They'll just be
someone
disappointed in
maybe
themselves.
someone will be inspired because you're right. Not everybody can do what you do.
Practice.
But practice doesn't do it for everyone.
I told you that's only one component.
But I think you also have to love it. I mean, there's one thing that when you hear Howard speak about radio, you hear a passion in his voice.
I don't love it.
You know, I think you do.
Look,
I think
Andre Agassi
Fred,
didn't
that
love
wasn't one of the
tennis. He was
components.
really
You're
good
lying
at
to
it.
me.
No, I don't love it.
When you said you were 5 years old, you dreamed of being on the radio.
Yes, but I didn't love it. There was a lot of pressure in my life. I didn't love it. And that's part of it, too.
You must love it because in spite of that pressure, you
People
come
who are
here
great-
every day, you did what you did.
No.
Well, if he says he doesn't love it, why are you arguing
He
with
wants
him?
to
Because I don't
argument.
think he's aware of it. I don't think he's aware of his love for radio.
Do I love radio?
Hold on, let me find
No.
I think you're full
Do
of
I
shit.
what?
I think you love it.
For 25 years, I've sat over here, talked in the mic, played with these pots. What are you talking? I'm here every day. But do you love radio? Do I what? Do you love radio? For 30 years, I write the bits.
30 years.
Lay in bed and think of shit to say. Get up in the morning, eat my egg whites.
Yeah.
Talk to Benji and Fred. Do I love it? Do I love radio?
Not at 5:59 a.m., that's for sure.
I've been going to sleep at 8 o'clock. Watching TV and going to bed. Not fucking Beth, making sure I get to sleep. And you ask me, do I love it? What kind of question is this? But do you love it? Do I love radio? All right, thanks, Pete. Good to speak to you.
This is a Howard TV original production.
Hi, I'm Bobby Rooney. I manage Beetlejuice, and I'm also a professional boxer. Beetle lives here with me, my wife, and our 3 kids. Pete and I had cameras follow us around for the past couple of weeks, capturing Beat's day-to-day life. In this episode, Beetle's training me for my title fight. This is Beetle. Right, Snakehead?
Righto, stop the cop.
What?
This is Beetle, is as bad as can. He knows he's the best. This is Beetle.
And that's the man.
What you just said?
That your baddest can.
Very daddy.
So be prepared to witness.
He's a tough guy.
And this is how we handle business.
Tell you straight up.
The cameraman isn't safe.
I don't want no camera in my fucking face.
He's big and he's strong, and you should know that this is Beetlejuice's show.
This is Beetle.
Pete, come on, let's go. You ready? I started boxing when I was 15 years old, but since I hooked up with Beetlejuice, my career has just taken off. Come on, man. What the hell?
Well, yes, here we go.
Pete's been training me for about 3 years now. Usually what we do is we set the alarm for about 6 a.m. He'll decide to stretch me. Hold it right there. He always tells me I have to stretch my balls.
Stretch your nuts. You don't have a nuts.
You're not going to stretch my nuts for me?
Stretching your nuts.
What do you mean when you say stretch my balls? You really want me to pull them?
Oh, when you stretch your balls, you stretch your balls. What else you got to do?
For what, though? What does it do for my...
It helps you when you stretch your nuts.
What kind of trainer are you, man?
I'm a fuck nut.
Pete, do you have to smoke every time we run?
I don't think so.
Pete, why do you have to smoke when I'm training? You know that's not good for my lungs, for my stamina?
I can't smoke and it's not even lick, you dick.
Do you think that's good for me?
No.
Inhale that smoke? Is it good for my lungs?
It's not good for you.
It's not good for my stamina?
It's not good for your stamina.
It's a big fight coming up, Pete.
Oh, yeah.
It's the big one, man. Every time I ask him who my next opponent is, he gives me a different name. He told me I'm fighting Mike Tyson last week. He told me I was fighting Tommy Hearns.
Oh, you probably know. You never know.
He told me Ricky Styles, whoever that is. I never even heard of him.
Any person you can fight with. It doesn't matter.
By the way, do you have me an opponent yet?
Yeah.
Who am I fighting?
You're fighting Tony to Tony.
Who?
Ray to Ray.
It seems like he thinks that insulting me and belittling me helps me.
Run, you fucking bastard! You fucking filthy bastard! Run!
When he insults me while I'm running and tells me, "Let's go, you cocksucker, pick up the pace," I think that really gives me the fire.
Real quick. Run, you shitty bastard!
You have to abuse me every time we run.
Hell yeah, you fucking bastard! You ready?
You ready?
I'm ready.
You got your seatbelt on?
I got it on, brother. There we go.
Oh, sorry.
I'm way too heavy.
You all right?
I'm fine. There we go. Go faster. Go ahead, Bobby. You got it. Go ahead. Faster. You got it. Faster. Faster. Fast. Oh, fast.
Pete, I just farted. Did you smell it?
Oh, yeah. There we go.
We gotta go to the market, Pete.
Let's go to the market to get the protein shake. Yeah! Yeah! We're going to the market to get the protein shake.
And now, taking a beat.
You scream Jews a lot. What is it?
I say, fuck you, you Jew.
Don't you have some Jewish friends? No.
Hell no.
What about Levy?
Levy's a fucking Jew.
Is he your buddy, though?
He's still my friend, buddy. I still call him a dirty Jew.
What about Julie? He's your boy.
Julie's not a Jew.
No? Why do they call him Julie, then?
Huh? Oh, he's not a Jew. He's Catholic. He's not a Jew.
What are you?
Me? I'm not Catholic, motherfucker.
What are you?
I'm just a regular fucking person.
That's right. Here we go, Beat.
There we go.
All right, look. I wrote everything down for you.
Okay.
Strawberries. Celery. Bananas. A bag of ice.
Bag of ice.
Big thing of yogurt.
Big yogurt. Okay.
Half a gallon of skim milk.
Okay, we got
Carrots.
Carrots.
And 2 cucumbers.
Cucumbers.
All
okay.
Right? Seriously, don't mess this up. This is important for my training, these protein shakes, all right?
Okay. We got that.
You know, don't get no other bullshit, nothing. Just what's on the list.
Okay.
I sent Beat into the market by himself to get the stuff for my protein shake. Remember, Beat?
Whatever you did, I did it on my own. Let's start in. Let's see. Where we gotta go at? This is good. Bananas. We got carrots. What the hell? Wait, let's get this in the way. Oh, can I get a pie, honey?
You want on this roll?
No. A pizza.
A pizza pie.
He got everything on the list that we needed for the shake, but then he got a pizza, he got some diapers and some fucking formula, baby formula shit, a lot of shit that we didn't need.
Where are these?
But that's all right. He's my man. Whatever he does.
Hey, put it in your shake. It's fucking great. Sorry, excuse me. I'll try that.
Hi, how are you today?
How you doing? There you go.
5088 is your total.
How much money did you have when you went in the shop that day?
Oh, probably I had like $400. Wow.
40.
Okay.
41, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're in trouble.
No, I ain't got the pizza. I don't want it.
All right. We all set?
We all set.
How'd you do? You got everything?
I got everything.
What the hell is it? What'd you get fish sticks for?
Hey, for the toothpaste thing.
Fish sticks, candy? What are we gonna do with candy?
Oh, that's for later.
Man, I told you what I needed.
Oh, I couldn't know where you. I didn't know where you were running it.
What'd you get flowers for, dude?
Hey, just to put it on the side.
The side of what? You can't put this in the shakes.
Hey, it's all things fake.
You're killing me, bro. Come on. Why did you buy flowers, candy, and fish sticks when I sent you in for vegetables?
Oh, because I must have given it to him because he's my bitch.
You ready, Beat? We're gonna make some protein shakes right now. Beat makes me a real healthy shake. He puts nothing but real healthy ingredients in it. What do you usually put in my shakes?
You can put peanut butter, steak, ice cream, whatever the fuck you want to put in.
Dog shit.
Not dog shit.
No?
You can't put no dog shit in no fucking blender.
What else can we put in there? Seems like something's missing.
Something missing. Now, let's see. What's missing?
When he was making my protein shake for my fight, he pulled out a bottle of vodka. I was like, hey, B, what the fuck? Remember?
Because I took a fucking drink, that's why. Ooh, that's a nice cold ride.
So what are you doing with that?
What are we going to do with that? We're going to put it in there.
That's for my training? I'm going to drink vodka?
Sweet vodka. You ain't taking this, are you?
You can't put that in my shake, man.
You don't need this in your shake.
No. So we're good, right?
We good right there. That's good.
Smells good.
Smells good.
Here's to another great training camp, Pete. Thanks for everything, buddy.
Thanks for everything. It's fucking good. And now, taking a beat.
You're boogering, you know.
I do?
Your left nostril, it?
Oh, yeah.
Check in there.
Nothing in there. I didn't grab something. Shit.
You can just grab it with your hand and throw it out the window, no? You just throw it. What is that? Let me check it out.
Oh, I got it out.
Clean sweep?
Yep.
Yep.
Come on, we gotta go to the gym. Hurry up.
Come on, let's go to the gym, huh?
Do you have my opponent's name, Beat? You know the guy's name that I'm fighting?
You fighting that Polish guy, right?
I don't know. What's his name?
I think his name, I think his name, Ricky Styles or something. Oh, Ricky Styles? Oh.
Ricky Styles?
Something like that. I don't know.
When me and Beat are preparing for a fight, we take it to ringside in Jersey City.
Hey, what's up, Bob?
What's up, bro?
What's up, Chef?
What's going on, Coach?
Where you been, B? We've been waiting a half hour.
Hey. B, what happened? Walking around.
We've been waiting a half hour. What's up, Chef?
Let's go to work.
Ready to rumble.
Let's go to work.
Let's go to work, baby. Beetle decided to bring in a co-trainer to help out with us. He's Mike. He's been in the business for a long time. He's studied under Beetlejuice, so he's, you know, he knows what he's doing.
You gotta get on his toes, boy. You gotta tell him. You gotta be on his toes.
Yeah, he's on his toes.
Tell him then.
Stay on your toes. Don't square up. You got fast hands. Come on.
Finish up.
Finish up. Finish that last up.
Come on.
Finish strong. There you go. I'm motivated while he's in the ring. If you're gonna motivate somebody, you do it. That's how you think. Do it. Think before you do it. Come on, faster. Come on, faster.
Faster than that.
Come on, faster than that. Come on, don't forget that right hand up. Come on.
Chin up.
Get the chin up. Get that chin up. Keep it up.
Body in it.
Get that body. Get that body.
Yell at him, B. He's slow.
Come on, stay on that toe. Come on, let's go. Stay on that toe.
He usually likes to hold the heavy bag while I hit the heavy bag.
One time.
Make him work. Call him the combination.
Call him the combination now.
Let's go.
Let's go. Watch his feet.
There we go.
Come on.
When I'm hitting the heavy bag, he does everything he can. He holds it, and his feet are off the ground, and he's wobbling around and shit.
Sound like I'm doing a fucking bottle rock dance.
He's like a bottle rocket.
You stay there. You stay there.
There you go.
There you go.
Come on.
Hold that down.
Hold the bag still. Come
Hold
on.
it tight,
Hold
Pete.
it still.
This guy's
Come on.
120 pounds.
Come on.
I got it. Don't worry.
Come on.
Don't worry, I
Put the
got
hook
it.
behind
Hold
that.
it tight, Pete.
That's it. Now go to the body. Switch to the
Go
body.
to the body. Come on.
Come on.
Keep it up.
Push him.
Good work.
When I'm working out, Pete wants to make sure I have a lot of fluids in my body so I don't get dehydrated.
Come on, get the water in there. All right, good. That's good.
If you box, you gotta stay hydrated. That's how it goes, man. There we go.
Back up. Double jab right hand. Left hook right hand. Is that good?
That's good.
One more time.
Don't forget that right hand. Double jab.
Dig to the body.
Dig to the body.
Yeah. Go to the body first.
You know how we got that?
There we go.
Come on.
Come on.
There we go.
There we go. Come on, Jeff. 10 seconds.
Finish up.
Come on. 10 seconds, son.
Come on.
Come on, Jeff. 10 seconds.
There we go.
There you go. And now, taking a beat. There's the graveyard.
You ever going there?
Oh, crazy?
Want to go in there now?
No.
Come on, let's go in the graveyard.
What are you, crazy?
Why not? I'm going to go around. I'm going to pull in.
Oh, no, I ain't going in there.
Why not?
You crazy?
Well, take a little walk through the graveyard.
No, I ain't not going in no graveyard.
How do you get in? Right there?
I'm not going in there. You crazy?
We'll walk around for a little while. We'll take a look around.
I'm not going in there, dude.
Come on, dude.
I'm not going in there.
You gonna make me go by myself?
I'm not going in there. Come on, Bobby. I'm not going in there.
Why not?
I'm scared.
You don't like graveyards?
No, I don't. Bobby, I'm scared.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. I'm scared.
I would never do that to you, bro. Hey, B, why were you late for my fight last time? I was looking everywhere for you.
Everywhere? I was downstairs. I don't know where y'all guys was.
Hey, where were you? Oh, you just got here?
Yeah, I just got here in 5 minutes.
Looking for you, dude.
I just got here in 5 minutes.
Where'd you go?
Huh?
Where were you?
I was at work all day.
At work?
Yeah.
He's a cop now.
2 days already. At the office.
Don't go nowhere and don't drink, all right? Until after the fight, no drink.
I ain't gonna.
You gotta take a shit.
Get the fuck out of here.
He's gotta drop the juice.
Did you stop for a couple drinks? Is that why you were late?
Probably. Shot in the fire.
Shot in the beer? That's the way you gotta train, motherfucker. You know that.
Stop that.
He drank a little.
You didn't have anything to drink.
No, I didn't have my water.
It was salsa.
No. I had salsa water.
Salsa water.
I had salsa water.
I can smell it.
Yeah, salsa.
What? It's only salsa water.
It's there. Salsa water.
I can smell
What?
it.
Women drink that, right?
I can smell the seltzer.
Come on.
It's only salsa water.
Salsa water.
On fight night, Beat really gets real intense and emotional with me in the locker room. He tells me listen to him, to shut everybody out, don't listen to anybody else, just listen to him, and he's with me, he's behind me 100%.
I said, I love you, you can't lose. What's your only get in the ring? We gotta do this. Don't worry about what I'm saying. Just do what I tell you. When you do that uppercut, just do that. When I get in the ring, when I tell you something, you do it.
Always.
You gotta do what I tell you. I don't care what nobody else says. Just do what I tell you. Focus on it. Keep your mind on it. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. When you get in that ring, make sure when I tell you, do what I tell you. Do what I tell you. That's the main thing in your head. Do what I tell you.
Having Beat in my corner means the world to me. As long as he's there, I know if I listen to him and I execute his game plan, I'm going to have a good outcome every time.
When I get in the ring, when I tell you something, you do it. Stop that jab! Stop that I don't care what nobody else says. Just do what I tell you. Stop that jab! Like I told you! Stop that jab! There you go! Do what I tell you. Stop that jab! Stop that jab!
There we go.
This last fight, it was definitely for Beetle. I dedicated it to him. You know, with him at my side, I know I'm going to win.
Who's the man?
Pete, I just want to thank you for getting me that victory. I couldn't have done it without you.
Thank you.
Now, is it all right if I use this little fucking head as a speed bag?
Oh,
Come on.
He wouldn't use it,
Let's
but
go,
it
bro.
won't help you. It won't dare fucking help you, scumbag.
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John High and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
Hey, it's Gary Dell'Abate, Baba Booey. On Monday's wrap-up show, Robin stopped by the show, talked about her thoughts on going to Guatemala. We told her she was crazy for going. And then we discussed other trips she took that didn't work out so well to third world nations like to Venezuela and to India. So here's how it went.
I was not going to get on a plane and just go to Guatemala.
Right.
So let's dispel that. It sounds like people think I'm just going to be wandering the streets of Guatemala alone, looking for people who need help.
You missed the beginning of this, which is really funny. The guy said he went down there 4 times for, an adoption thing. He said the Marriott was surrounded by barbed wire, and they told you that if you leave the hotel, you're on your own.
Right.
And he said the worst place he went to, the guy who was Guatemalan drove by at 90 miles an hour, wouldn't even stop.
You understand where everyone's concern is coming from, Rob.
Of course, I'm concerned, but I'm interested in going to a place that has those kind of problems.
So the danger is part of the thrill for you for the trip?
No, it's not a thrill. Sometimes unless you've actually seen or experienced something, you really can't convey the need, and that's what I'm looking for.
So you feel like you have to be there to really express.
Yeah, I have to see it firsthand.
So who are you dealing with? An organization, a charity of some sort that's going to facilitate this trip?
Yes, it's called the United Nations Foundation.
Okay. I wasn't sure. So you spoke, but you've already spoken to them, and they've told you that they've given you an idea of what you'd be doing and how safe it'll be.
No, they just said we're putting together a trip. I had talked about wanting to go see what they do firsthand. Right. And they said, we're putting together a trip to Guatemala. I had originally said, because they do a lot of work in Africa, too. And I had said to you guys that I have an interest in doing that. And they said, well, the next trip we're organizing is to Guatemala. Maybe, I know it's not Africa, but maybe you could do that one.
What about the rough parts of Hawaii? They didn't have any trips?
Well, Robin, I was saying that I actually identify with you on this because when I was going to Afghanistan, I was getting the whole, you're crazy to go, this and that.
I remember
and all
that.
Stuff. You might have been doing it. And,
no, I was not one of the ones who said, you're a father, you shouldn't go.
I might have to get tape of that. But I will tell you that I spoke to the people at the USO, and it was great because they said, listen, we have to, there's always this, there's always that. But they said, the thing that made me feel really good, they said, in the history of the USO, no one's ever died. Mm-hmm. Then I said that on the air, and then people told me, Glenn Miller died. but he died in a plane crash.
On the way to or from, you're in danger.
No one's ever been kidnapped and murdered on a USO tour. So I'm hoping the UN has a similar track record.
I haven't asked them the track record.
I see Alicia Keys in Africa. I see Madonna in Africa.
There are a lot of people coming and going, and, I've never heard of... We haven't lost any stars.
But I will tell you, the other rap I got, even when I was over there, was, one of the shows we did was in Kandahar, and then one of the shows we did was 150 miles north of Kandahar, and it was pretty rural. I was told, you hear Robin Williams does it, Billy Crystal does it, Letterman does it. Then I found out that those guys go to, a base in Iraq, which is not even near anything that's going on, and they do it on that base. They're not really in the thick of it. So you have to really investigate.
Yeah.
Now, the off-air chat that Howard had with you, did that have any effect on your...
10 seconds. Gary witnessed that.
I did. I told him.
He said, please don't go. Please don't go.
And I said,
was it.
And I said, Robert goes, I'll be safe. And I go, what if you don't feel safe? Robert goes, then I'm not going.
Hey, Rob,
very simple.
The level of safety you feel right now, if you, had kids Gary's age at this point, would it stop you from going?
I would take my kids with me.
So they can experience what you're experiencing?
Absolutely.
Oh, I thought you mean you didn't like your kids.
Yeah, I would
leave them there.
It would be interesting. I had a list that we didn't get around to talking to. I showed to Howard today, and it was from the United States Embassy documenting all the crimes against tourists in Guatemala this year, and it was 6 pages long.
Right.
But I wonder what that list would look like if you were Guatemalan and it was a Guatemalan embassy talking about Manhattan. How much crime there was against tourists in Manhattan this year.
But, again, those are people who knows why they're in Guatemala? Maybe they're just there to see the sights or to have an adventure or to do whatever. I'm going under different circumstances.
Oh, no, but that may not... Why you're going doesn't change what somebody might do.
They always ask.
No, wait a minute.
Leave her alone. She's a good person.
No. They say these people were out just walking around. I'm not going to be out just walking around.
Robin, I'm glad you're down here because before Guatemala came up, we were talking about your event because there's still a lot of confusion as to...
we were trying to do something simple, and it has caused nothing but confusion. It's amazing.
Okay, so can you clarify for us? It's a cocktail party for the charity, and you said there was sort of a confluence there with your friend who's an artist. He's going to be selling some artwork.
The artwork is for sale.
Okay.
It's an art show and reception. Or an exhibition and a reception.
Because Benji asked, could he just come and, look around and eat some food? And
I know I could.
Go.
No. I know I could, but what I wonder is, what is Robin's expectation?
That you'd come and walk around. What would I expect from Benji?
Benji's saying if he comes with a date and he comes and has a couple of glasses of wine and a couple of hors d'oeuvres but doesn't buy anything, will that be seen as being...
No. You're there.
No, I know you would never say, like, hey, where's your gift? Like, but is your expectation that whoever goes donates?
No.
Okay.
The expectation is you'll come and you'll see the art and you'll learn about the Girl Fund.
Oh, I like that.
Now, what about all these implications that you're involved somehow with this artist?
That's it. I'm out of here. I do enough of that on the show.
I will tell you one thing. John asked me if I thought there was something going on, and I said there was. I can't point to anything. But we went to a charity event a week ago, and I sat next to your new best friend, Ross's wife Melissa. And I tried to squeeze information out of her. She's either nothing's going on or she's an amazing actress. Because she goes, oh my gosh, no, and I don't know. She seemed pretty credible, but that makes me believe it even less.
Well, you guys continue to speculate, and I have to go.
Is there any
work
chance
on this event?
It's her son, like secretly.
That guy's Robin's son?
Yeah.
The math is there. He's 39.
He's not 39.
39?
I think he said he was 39. How old is he?
He's like 28.
I don't know his age.
But Robin, one thing you did...
It was 29.
39 seems old.
I'll move off this topic. But one thing you did say, you said you have a burning desire to save the world. And I thought you were saying it in part tongue-in-cheek, but in part seriously. Like you want to have that kind of effect. What other things do you want to do that you haven't done?
Let's take it one at a time. This is a big deal, to actually, try to get to one of these developing countries and see what's happening. That's just a first attempt at education to find out what the problems are, what the needs are on a first-hand basis.
Because some of the trips you've gone on in the past, granted they weren't for this purpose, but Gary brought up issues you had in India or wherever else.
But that was a pleasure trip.
Yeah, but you had no pleasure.
No, because I couldn't get to the people who actually know how to get pleasure out of it.
I remember some discussion about you just being very... You were like, I think you tried to get out of there almost the second you got there. I think it took you 3 days to leave.
Well, here's what happened. Again, I was supposed to go... There was one plane a day to the place I was supposed to go to. And because I was delayed by a day because of equipment problems in England, I didn't get there on the day I was supposed to make that plane.
Right.
Every other day, that plane was booked solid. And so I had to go to the airport and see if somebody just didn't show up. For 4 days in a row, I did that. And my friends had to move on. They weren't staying in that one spot. So it would have meant staying 2 weeks where I was in the city of New Delhi or leaving. But I chose to leave.
And how did you feel about New Delhi?
That is not a place. I've told stories. I actually saw a man kick another man. A taxi driver took me. Every night I changed hotels because I was trying to find a decent hotel. And the last time I said, let me just go to a hotel with an American name. So I booked myself into the Hilton. And this cab came to get me. And it was almost like a cart with a lawnmower motor in it. And, the guy took me to a gas station and said, I need gas. I was like, oh, this is how he's gonna get money out of me. He's going to ask me.
Wait, you had to gas up the car to get to where you were going?
I need a transmission.
I need a kidney.
Right. So I paid for the gas, and then he drove me to the hotel, and I get out of the hotel, and there's a guy with, one of those Indian headdresses on and a red suit, and a beard standing at the door. And, he's getting my bags and everything, and he's taking it out. And then I'm going to go pay the cab driver. And I wanted to give him every dollar I had in my pocket. And so I'm just peeling off this Indian currency. And the doorman grabbed the money out of my hand and said, no. And he took a couple of dollars and he threw them at the guy. And the guy started to argue with him, but she wanted to give me. And he just kicked him and said, get out of here.
Hey, what's up? This is Will. And on Tuesday's wrap-up show, Medicated Pete came down to talk about the dating game that he was just in. We offered him a little bit of advice on, how to work it with a woman. God knows he needs it. Check it out.
Dave in Pennsylvania, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey guys, how we doing? I'm a huge fan.
Hey Dave.
I thought sure Medicated Pete was going to pick the older girl there that had been put in jail.
Chris.
Chris, yes. But then after the outcome, and he picked the girl in the wheelchair there. Was he intimidated by her because she was in jail, or intimidated because of her age?
He didn't seem to be bothered by anything.
No. I mean, he seemed to say, I had a genuine connection with Dinah, and that's why I chose her.
Then why does everybody think that Chris would have been the one? I mean, the caller saying it, you guys said it.
I thought that he liked her as well.
I thought she was the easiest one to bang.
The middle one.
Yes.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah. Howard used to say this a lot. He doesn't say it as much anymore, but this was even before I worked here. He used to always say, find a real fat girl with a pretty face, and then work her way down. Then she'll be like loyal to you forever.
But what happens if she works her way up?
Well,
And I think Artie said she'll lose the weight, and then she'll lose Pete and go for Jared. I couldn't tell if that would be
quite a jump.
Well,
how much weight do you think she's losing?
I don't know. But Dave, so you were surprised when Dinah ended up being the choice?
Yeah. Actually, I was. I thought I thought Sherry was going to go with Chris. She was closer to his age. Yes, she was a little bit heavier, but she said she was going to lose all that weight. I thought Sherry was going to pick her.
All right. Well, Pete keeps everybody guessing, and if you missed it, here's when Pete makes that decision and takes the drama and cranks it up a couple of notches.
It has come out now.
Uh-oh.
And I'm set to reveal my choice.
This guy's good. See how he drags it out?
Who I am
great.
Going to be potentially seeing for a while.
Are you dragging it out because you're having doubts, or are you dragging it out for a drama?
It's the drama.
Drama, good, okay.
This is as long as the relationship.
It's the ratings,
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give the rose to Dinah, you
were contestant number 1. You're in a wheelchair. Dinah just wheeled out of here. I'm sorry.
She left.
By the way, I think in that clip, he sounds like Christopher Walken. He's like, by the way, I give the rose to Dinah.
Pete, definitely living in the moment, and I mean, physically gives a rose to Dinah in her wheelchair, and Dinah was happy to win. The next question has to be, what's going to happen on this date? How do you think this is going to go, Will?
I don't like the way it's sounding already. Even listening to that clip, he just sounds like, he's ready for marriage. And that's going to freak a girl out right away. And she seems pretty normal, like she's had a relationship with guys before. He hasn't had a lot of experience with women, so it's kind of showing, and I worry that it's just going to freak her out.
Gary, where do you see this headed?
It's too soon to tell. I mean, it's going to be listen, they're going to go out today. There's going to be cameras on them. It's going to be very difficult. She seemed to genuinely like him, but how much she likes him, we're going to find out. But we'll know more. The thing is, I thought she's pretty genuine, so we're going to get a recap tomorrow, and I think she'll be pretty upfront about what she thinks.
Benji?
I think she'll say he's a nice, sweet guy. We had a great time, and maybe we'll see each other again. But unfortunately, I don't see it. She lives in Philadelphia. I think they'll have a nice time.
You know what's going to happen, because I've seen this go down before. What's today? Today's Tuesday? Mm-hmm. Like Thursday afternoon, Pete's like, can you give me the heavy chick's phone number?
Well, Medicated Pete now joining us here on the wrap-up show. And Pete, a lot of people thought you were going to take Chris, yet you said that there was a connection that you felt with Dinah. Can you describe that connection that you guys had?
Well, I think I felt off the bat that we had a connection with this disability thing. So we had something to relate to, so it's something to talk about, you know. So we're not on like uncommon ground, you know what I mean?
And you were pretty fired up this morning for this contest, no?
Yeah, I was. I still am.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was the little person's name?
Lila.
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 Was Lila you picked?
You know,
was Lila
I have
ever
to
in the
say
mix?
something, though. I have to say something.
Say it.
What would you like to say, Pete?
I was a little. I honestly, I was a little intimidated by the other two.
Really?
Yeah.
Why did Lila intimidate you, the smaller person, and then why did Chris intimidate you, who was the larger person?
I actually. I actually thought that they were coming on to me a little bit too much. You know, they put too much pressure on me.
How so?
I just felt that I just got a bad vibe from them. They just can't. I think they wanted me to pick them, so I kind of had a lot of added pressure that way. You know.
But all of them wanted you to pick them. That's why they were here.
Oh yeah, but more so to them, more so those two.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Dinah definitely was the most like.
I kind of felt threatened.
Not into you,
I kind of felt threatened by the two of them.
But in what way?
So
in what way did you feel threatened?
Just like, you know, like I said before, they almost wanted me to like pick them, so I was like on the spot with them a little bit, you know.
Well, Gary.
And with Dinah, she was more reserved, like more just like sitting back, you know.
So Chris and Lila were trying too hard, almost. Would you say? Like, were they coming on to you too strong? I'm trying to understand what you mean by intimidating you.
They were trying too hard.
Like they were in it to win the game. They weren't there for you. You almost felt like.
No, they were. It seems like they were too competitive, you know.
Like they wanted to win the game,
Yeah.
and then it wasn't about you.
Yeah, like I thought in like a small way it wasn't about me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know. So.
Lila the whole time I noticed like was making eyes at Pete like the whole time. Like you'll see it more when it's on the TV show, but she was like kind of like winking and like
little
just,
adorable eyes.
Yeah,
and a great rack.
She was cute though. I mean, she had a lot going on for her. I mean, you know, for her size and everything. But I mean, you know.
Were you distracted at all by that?
A lot going on for a little is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Pete, were you distracted at all by any of the girls? Were they sort of trying to keep locked in on you, and as the other ones were talking, and maybe have an advantage at the game?
No, not really. Again, it's more of that intimidation thing, you know. More,
but Dinah wasn't intimidating at all. Felt very natural.
No, she just felt like you know, pretty cool, not intimidating at all. So that's one of my reasons.
Now, by the end of the game, it sounded like you were falling pretty hard for Dinah. Like, you know, you're smitten. I don't know if that's the right word, but it seems like you've got some great expectations for this date and maybe something beyond.
I think something could actually happen here. I think that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I could be totally wrong, but.
And what's your game plan? How are you going to play it out for the rest of the day?
Well, we're going to this Western place,
and
this Western bar. I don't even know where it is, but somewhere. And we're going to somehow rob the mechanical bull. So that's going to be interesting in itself. So
yeah, but that's sort of a fun kind of moment for the cameras. I'm talking when you're sitting together at the table. Like what kind of conversation are you thinking of? Like what kind of move you're going to make?
When we're sitting down, I'm going to ask questions. You know,
you should kiss her right away. Get that out of the way.
I'm gonna be like, you know, like, hey, what's up?
So what you?
You guys have any advice for Pete and what he should be doing?
Show the weapon right away.
No, just remember it's a first date. You know, even though you might be a little smitten and everything, and you might think she's the one. Remember, it's a first date, and if you come on too strong, sometimes you could scare women away. But she seems to like you.
Yeah.
Tommy in Massachusetts, welcome to the wrap-up show.
Keep it real up in the field, all right? What's up, guys?
Hey, Tommy.
Hey, Pete, you were awesome today.
Thank you.
It was surprising that you picked the one in the wheelchair, but I understand. You know, the fat one said, was her name Large Marge?
No.
Because she said that she didn't like to get oral sex; she liked to give it.
Right.
That's usually the winner right there. But you know what?
Yeah,
would be a
very
great
true.
Show?
Yeah.
Great show. Mark the Bagger and Pete Tourette's.
Thank you, man.
All right, thanks for the suggestion, Tommy. Chris, I guess you said before, might have been a little bit of aggressive, but it seemed like she was up for anything. I mean, I would think.
Yeah, she definitely had a little bit of mine.
Hey, she was very sweet, but her weight didn't bother you at all? Like, you're still physically attracted to her?
It wasn't a weight issue at all.
But so you're physically attracted to her?
Was I physically attracted to her?
Yeah.
Not 100%, but yeah. I mean, there was some attraction there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So what would be a turn off?
I mean, that's great if you can.
Yeah. Just the fact that she said she wanted to lose all this weight was kind of cool to me because she was conscious about that. You know?
Right.
What would be a turn off, Pete? What would be a turn off for you? Like, what could the girls have done or looked or said that you would have been like, game over, forget it, I'm not interested?
Well, he said it last week. Full-blown AIDS.
Hey everybody, it's Shuli, and on Wednesday's wrap-up show, Dan the song parody man called in to refute some claims that people were making, and wouldn't you know it, him and I got into it, things got heated, and we decided to end it like men, in a comic off, which sounds really gay. Check it out.
Are you surprised that this is your reputation here?
No, I'm not, because you guys constantly try to fucking prank me, constantly try to throw shit at me, and you have nothing. You have fucking nothing. So you have to make shit up. Shuli talks shit about me, talking about my fucking appearance when the guy looks like a cross between a Holocaust survivor and a fucking cancer patient.
But what does that do? But what does that do when I get laughs and you get nothing on stage?
And he's criticizing. I've never seen that happen where you got laughs and I got nothing. And again,
please, let me remind you of a story. Let me remind you something. In Florida, you're on stage dying, eating the biggest shit sandwich I've ever seen a comic eat on stage for 10 minutes when a guy looks at me who's standing in the back of the room, looks at me, points to you and goes, "Who wrote this shit for him?" And I told him, "You wrote this shit for you. That's the shit you present on stage." I would doubt that there's a fucking writer out there that would be proud to say, "I gave Dan that material."
Shuli, I understand that you're a comic and you've been doing it for over 10 years, and I know that 'cause I've seen you do the exact same set for those entire 10 years without changing it up, except for maybe adding like an Elliot Offman impersonation and shit like that. And I'm sorry that you said, I didn't mean to say that you're a bad comedian when I said lack of material. I meant that you had a slow news day, so you ran a bullshit news story on me. And if you're offended about that, then fuck you, man. I thought we were friends. When you fucking first came to New York with no money in your pocket and J-Rock didn't fucking reserve the hotel for you, I fucking bought your fucking hotel room for you until I got
You got my career started, and I thank you for that, Dan. I really do.
No, you didn't get my... I didn't get... And I put,
well, then what the fuck are you taking credit for? What are you taking credit for? I came out here because I was booked on the Stern Show, not to fucking room with you in an apartment that you're not even paying for.
No shit, I bought you.
You sitting here like you're fucking handing out people gold. You're squatting in some guy's fucking apartment with hair all over the fucking place.
You're twisting the fucking story. It wasn't my apartment. I fucking put my credit card down for you to have a room at the Park Central on 7th Avenue.
And I appreciate. Listen, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. You attacked me first. You attacked me first.
Chris, and I fucking picked you up at the fucking airport. So don't give me the.
So what did I? And what have I done for you in Vegas, cocksucker? What did I do for you in Vegas? Who got you to go up on stages that you fucking can never set foot back on again because you sucked so fucking bad? Who helped you in Vegas with all the fucking connections I had?
In Vegas, you lying fucking piece of shit.
Fuck off! You're a fucking scumbag. You're a phony. You're a phony scumbag.
That you used to fucking do.
Fuck off! Fuck off! You had nowhere to go. You're banned from the Hard Rock. Where else are you gonna go?
Say this to my fucking face when it's not gang up on fucking.
You gonna bring one of your knives, Boy Scout?
I don't need any fucking knives.
Give me a fucking break. All you do is get outed on the air and then threaten people with physical fucking confrontation. That's all. That's your only fallback, dude.
No, I'm telling you, be a fucking man and see if you can look me in the eye.
I don't need to look you in the eye.
The same fucking lies in person that you're trying to fucking get air.
That's fine. I'll tell you face to face when you come up here for your 1 day of work a week.
This is all I can say. I hope your child, when it's born, looks just like you.
Hey, that's mean.
What? I said I hope his child looks like its father.
That's mean.
I know, is that mean?
I don't know that. Is that to? Well, Dan, is that to imply that Shuli's? Dan, stop talking for a second.
Day one, and I've even fucking sat around and allowed you to fucking run bullshit on me when you have a fucking slow news day, and then you
again with this slow fucking news day. The host of the show and numerous people told me not only did you take one gift bag, asshole, you took more than one, and I didn't even mention that on the air today.
No, you're totally full of shit, and you're fucking.
Everybody's full of shit but you. Everybody's full of shit but you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. You're never wrong. You can never take a step back and say, you know what? Maybe I was out of line there, right? We're all the fucking scumbag, lion, rat assholes, right?
Somebody handed me something, okay? You guys are constantly trying to fucking set me up for shit. But when I fucking see you, you won't look me in the eye and tell the same fucking lies because you can fucking do it over the airwaves, but you can't do it to
And
my
what are you
fucking
going to
face.
do? What are you going to do when you see me? You threatening me? You're going to come and punch me? You're going to come and fight me?
No, I want to see if you're capable of fucking telling the same lies while looking me in the face and showing the same anger and animosity towards me while looking me in the face. Because it's easier to lie to somebody or lie about somebody when you're not looking them in the eye.
But Dan, here's a newsflash for you. I'm not lying about what I'm saying. I'm just telling you what the fuck went down, what I was a witness to, and what numerous people were a witness to. And I was in the fucking studio, jerk off. I was there. I saw the bags lined up against the fucking wall, and I watched you fucking walk off with one.
No, you watched. You weren't there when the host of the show handed it to me. You watched me leave.
Who was it? Crystal Gale with her fucking long hair that I misstepped for you? Get the fuck out of here.
Listen to me, Shuli. You're a fucking piece of shit. You're showing your fucking true colors.
I am. I don't bring a second suitcase when I go to fucking help a friend so I can clean out their fucking room. That's a scumbag. That's a fucking scumbag.
Never did that.
Of course not.
And again, fucking Sal keeps trying to crowbar that fucking story in that fucking Levy's old driver fucking said. Yeah, and now all of a sudden Yucca was witness to it. The last time it was somebody else. How many people fucking flew home with me, okay? I got the fucking ashtrays right here that were from the fucking Beacher show. They weren't from the hotel. I fucking prevented other people from taking shit from Artie's room. Some people that used to work for the show.
Dan, hold on a second. Do you think that there's a concerted effort by everyone on the show against you? Or do you think that it's just, you're just another guy, it's part and parcel to be part of the show, that everybody throws everybody under the bus?
Everybody throws everybody on the bus.
But you say you don't. Dan.
If they don't have anything fucking truthful to throw them under the bus with, they will conjure shit up.
But you don't think you're getting it any worse?
About the fucking ashtrays came from Sal, and he wasn't even there.
Dan, you don't think you're getting it any worse than anybody?
What? No, I think everybody gets it. But you know what? I'm not a fucking pussy. I'll stand up for myself.
Hey Dan, I know you said everyone's...
Let me tell you some good words to live by. Don't ever start shit with anybody, but don't ever take shit from anybody. I don't start shit with anybody.
What fortune cookie did you read that in?
It's fucking game on. Then it's game fucking on.
Hey Dan, I was just wondering, because you said everyone's making up this shit, so like when the news wanted to do a story on you, like Owen Artie $15,000, and you didn't want that story to run, and you got all angry, is that made up?
And
or
you
that
threatened Langford?
Yeah, you threatened Langford, and...
No, I didn't. No, I didn't threaten Langford.
Yes, you did.
It was very detrimental for him to run the fucking story.
Hey,
and he chose to do it anyway. Listen, Jason, you're the fucking bitch boy of the office. You're
I know,
you're a little fucking man cunt pussy. Even back at fucking K-Rock, you were always the gossip girl that would fucking IM people in the other fucking offices about what
It's weird. I have a job here, Dan.
Fucking rat on people. What's that?
I have a job here. I'm here, 5 days a week. So I can't be that much of a bitch.
It gives you more time.
You tried out for a job here and couldn't beat Yucko the Clown.
Gary, when did Dan become like Scott Salem? Everybody's kicking the guy when he's down.
Listen, I've heard these stories from people.
That's what weak people do. That's what people with nothing better to do. That's what people with lower self-esteem do, because they want to feel better about themselves. That's why you don't see me ever jump out and fucking dogpile on people and shit on people. So I got fucking no problem with it. I have no problem with it. You guys are a bunch of fucking pussies. Anybody that's going to talk shit and fucking gang up on somebody, the gang mentality is for fucking weaklings.
But Dan, you could make Dan, hold on, I'm talking. You could make the argument that in your own way, you gang up people because if this wasn't about you, you'd have a song parody ready about it for tomorrow morning. And I know while that's your job, that's also your way of ganging up.
That's not ganging up. That's not ganging up individually. It's a group of people attacking. And I have no problems. I can defend myself in a group of people attacking, okay? Whether it's fucking physical or verbal. I don't give a fuck.
Wait, Dan, I got an issue with that. So you're saying making a song parody about, let's say,
Gary's teeth
or Sal's wife's emotional friend or whatever. You don't think that's part of jumping in because it's an individual effort?
No, Gary's teeth is a fixture on the fucking show, okay? Okay, so that's not, it's something that he's accepted. I didn't make a single song about Sal's wife because I was respectful about that. The same way as I didn't make any fucking songs about Artie being on drugs because I'm respectful of certain things. When something is an established fucking topic on the show, then I'll make it a song. But I'm never going to fucking drive a nail in somebody if I think it's going to hurt.
You going to make a song about the hotel thing, man?
What's that?
You can make a song about this hotel thing?
What hotel thing?
Your hotel thing.
Tully in New York City, you're on the wrap-up show.
Yeah.
I went to the airport. I put my suitcase down. The lady looked at me and said, "It's 100 fucking pounds."
Tully, go ahead.
Where's that fucking clown? No, I was just trying to think how many people have been at a Shuley show and said to the guy next to him, "Hey, who wrote this shit?"
Well, it wasn't my show, but Dan was on the show. It was a show that Levy and I were doing, and Dan was up there sucking the life out of the room, and the guy asked who wrote his material.
And Shuli, let's just go to a club together in New York City any fucking night. We'll
any day of the week.
Is this gonna,
any day
is this going to be like, hold on, guys. Is this going to be like 8 Mile for comedy?
Yeah.
Comedy Showdown. Let's do it.
The same fucking 20 minutes.
Let's go to the Showtime at the Apollo. I'll do a set there.
Yo, Gary, hold on, Dan. That's a fair challenge. Let them go ahead.
Totally agree.
Anytime.
Let's get an audience and see how they react.
I have to tell you, I've never seen your comedy, and I'm not giving you any shit. The only thing is I know that you don't have as much experience as Shuli. So I would think it would be more difficult for you, but I've never seen you.
No problem. We just go to a random comedy room, not packed with Stern fans, not packed with any friends.
And can I tell you something? The last time I saw Dan perform, I even complimented him on a bit that he did that I actually thought was really funny, and I told him about it, the one about your dad that you did, about your Jewish father, and I even complimented him about that. But,
of course, because it was to my face, Julie. You're not looking me in the face right now.
I just complimented you now on it, douchebag. Open your move the hair out of your fucking ears and listen to what I'm saying. I just complimented you on it on the air, like I did to your face. And if you were standing in the studio right now, I'd tell you that you're an unfunny scumbag to your face today, like I did on the air.
Hey, can we do the challenge, Dan?
I'll give you the opportunity to do that in person any fucking time.
Can we do the challenge tonight, Dan?
Tonight I'm busy. I'm sorry, unless you want to do it after 10 o'clock.
Well, that's usually when people go to a comedy club. Shirley, could you do the challenge tonight?
I'll call Caroline's. I'll set
Well,
up.
don't say. Let's not say. Let's find another place.
Okay.
But
again, Shirley, the way to do it is unadvertised, without stacking the room with people, non-Stern fan, regular crowd.
How many minutes?
Dan,
how many minutes each?
How is he How would he be stacking the room with people? You're on the show. Shuli's on the show. I mean, do you think Shuli gets an advantage
Gary,
there?
I say 10 minutes each because 10 minutes you could pack in your best stuff.
Right, 10 minutes each. 10
minutes and no Stern stuff at all. Just
no
audience
at all.
Yeah, I mean,
why wouldn't you advertise your comedy? That's every show, Benji. Yeah. What kind of logic is that?
No, he's saying he wants
a fair audience.
He wants to take the trial to another city.
No, he's got a point. He does have a point about that.
Yeah, I know. I'm in. So they're going to walk up and they're going to people who have no predisposition to the show.
You don't have to announce it. You just walk up to a club and let's see what happens.
I could laugh for 20 minutes straight at your fucking Elliot Orphan impression. I could laugh for fucking 10 minutes straight at your Bobcat Goldthwait impression because I'm old enough to fucking remember who he is. But if we just go into a regular fucking room, okay, where people aren't going to fucking know Elliot, they're not going to know the other stuff, and you just do your regular material, the stuff that I love.
That's fine, Dan. Whatever you say.
Just make a hold on. Just make Dan. Hold on, Dan. Stop talking.
Jesus.
Just make no Stern Show references.
That's fine. I'm fine with that. I did stand up long before I started working here, and I got unlike and Dan has a lot of material that has nothing to do with the show as well. So I'm more than happy.
All right.
I'm more than happy to do that.
10 minutes. No Stern Show references at a site you guys agree on. This is like 3 o'clock.
We don't know if it'll be tonight, but whenever we do it, make sure TV knows about it because I want it taped and I want audio for the show.
And if Dan loses, he cuts his ponytail off. How's that?
Yeah. So what does Shuli have to offer? He's going to grow hair if he fucking loses?
I'll shave my ass hair.
No, Dan, if you lose, you fess up that everything you said, every dispute you've had with all these so-called lies is truthful. You admit.
None of them are truthful, so I'm not going to fucking lie, and I'm not going to fucking lie under any circumstance.
And I wouldn't want him to do that.
Let me tell you something. If I defense, if I take my best 10 minutes, and even if it kills, if you put it on TV,
whoever loses,
the only 10 good minutes I have.
Whoever loses has to kiss the head of my cock.
Actually, boy, that's really gay.
No,
for you.
The Sal's will win no matter what. With the foreskin over it. You have to kiss my foreskin.
Okay.
All right. Sal. Whoever loses has to kiss my foreskin.
Boy, Sal wants some guys on his cock so bad.
I don't care that it's Dan or Shuli. Why would you want a guy to kiss your penis?
Because it's disgusting, and I won't bathe for 2 days, and it'll smell like a twat rash.
Thursday's wrap-up show, all the talk was about the Superfan Trivia Contest, which came down to the last question, and Gina pulled it out. It was surprising that a woman won, surprising that Steve crossed out his answer when he almost had it, but not surprising that no one knew what Vinny Favale's full title was over at CBS. But it was a great contest. We talked about it a bunch, and here's how that went.
The Superfan Trivia Contest that was won by Gina, who it really came down to the last question, Gary, and she stuck with her answer, and I feel bad for Steve, who came in second place because he had it, and then he just let it go.
Yeah, we should point out that when you see it on Howard TV, I have a monitor in my office. So when people were writing down the answers to their questions, the camera sort of pans across so you could see what everybody's doing. So I could see the answers that people wrote down before they revealed them. And Steve had written down the correct answer, and then Howard said, "Matt, what do you have?" And Matt, who was his competitor next to him, held up his answer. While he was holding up his answer, Steve, out of the clear blue sky, abruptly just scribbled off the right answer and put in the wrong answer. And Artie and I and Robin, we all saw it on our monitors, and we were like, "What are you doing?" But you can't yell it out because that's the contest.
You got to go with your gut in those situations, I guess, and something overcame Steve. He thought differently, and it cost him. It cost him the big prize.
Should have read the book Blink, where they tell you to go with your gut reaction.
But what did you think of today's contestants?
They were all really good. I could tell that, what was the guy from Boston's name again?
Matt.
I could tell that Matt was going to have Matt was at a disadvantage just because of his age. You know, it's just one of those things where you really have to have been listening to the show for a long time to run the gamut. But for a guy his age, I thought he knew a lot.
He did very well, and I thought the questions, they didn't go necessarily that far back in Stern Show history. I mean, there was a question about Java and a couple others, but I thought he did well. But Steve and Gina both, hey, they know their stuff.
I thought Steve was a slam dunk. When I saw him in the green room, I had played him, I think, on Stump the Buoy, Beat the Buoy, and I beat him, but he was really, really good. But she was great. God bless her, man. She really kicked ass. And I've heard through people who work on the show here, I guess she's sort of in the inner circle of some of the Whack Pack and the Killers of Comedy. They say that her and her husband are like the nicest people you'll ever meet.
Oh, good for her. Congratulations, Gina. Were you surprised that a woman took home the big prize, Gary?
A little bit. I mean, I've met women who are big fans of the show, super fans, but there's just so few of them that, I mean, there are a lot of female fans of the show, but there are very few women who really, really know their stuff. And I just thought that guy, Steve, you know, he had a cockiness to him, and he just looked in a confidence. I thought he was going to be able to pull it off.
Now, Matt from Boston said a couple of things I found compelling. One was how the pride he took in heckling Artie and getting Artie to notice him, you know, just being acknowledged. Do you encounter that as well? Like somebody, if they can get you to react to a Baba Booey, you know, the pride they take in annoying you in some instances?
I guess. I mean, I only see the part where I'm annoyed. I don't know the pride that they take. I don't know if they go home and, you know, brag to their family. I think one of the most annoying ones, you know, I get it all the time, and sometimes it's a term of endearment, and sometimes people say it with like a thickness to it. They're like, "Hey, what's up, Baba Booey?" And you know, you could tell it's like that. But one of the most annoying ones is when I first moved up to Connecticut. I was in the supermarket, and the guy got on the speaker, and he's like, "Baba Booey, third aisle, Baba Booey," and I'm sure he went home and told his whole family, "I tormented Baba Booey today."
That's so funny. I never heard that. That's very funny.
Yeah, it was, and I'm like, I just moved up there, and I was like, God, I'm just trying to get, you know, lettuce and, you know, fucking whatever, avocados, whatever my wife wanted.
With the family, or were you by yourself?
I was by myself. But that's even weirder because I'm like walking down the aisles, and no one's reacting to it except for me. Like, nobody in the store knows even what that means.
No, but the guy who's saying it over the mic sure knows what it means.
So proud. So happy.
And the other thing Matt said was how big of an Eric the Midget fan is, and he was just thrilled beyond belief to be able to speak to Eric on the phone. How did you think Eric handled those accolades that Matt gave him?
Oh, the way he usually does, barely breathing. You know, you could tell, Eric, you're the greatest. I think you're the best. Da da da. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The long pause. Good. You know what I mean? Like the guy, he has no feelings.
He did apologize to Artie, though.
Not to me. He didn't apologize to me.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting an apology.
Yeah. He did. He should have, you know, listen, he jumped the gun. He crawled all over Artie without having all the facts.
That's true. Now,
well, I shouldn't say he crawled. He rolled all over Artie without all the facts.
Did you think the questions were too easy, too difficult, or just right?
It's very difficult for me to judge that because my knowledge, I think, is so extensive that I wonder how much a fan knows. I actually moved some of the questions around. Jason put them together, and I'd taken 2 questions that were in the easy, and I moved them to the medium. But I guess they were sufficient. You know, the way you know you failed on a question is when nobody gets the answer. Mm-hmm. And there was one of those today where no one got the answer.
I thought that made it. I mean, it was so. I thought it was calibrated just right, and I think even the fact that there was one thing that everyone missed, I thought it made it kind of interesting. There was, I've been here a long time. There's a couple things I didn't know and a couple things I did. I was impressed.
Did you think it was going to come down to knowing Vinny Favale's title in full? I don't know if anyone knows that.
That's a great. Even I had everything about it right, except instead of calling him vice president, I called him head. I always call him head of head of late night programming, CBS East Coast.
But now, do we know, is he still that? Because that's what he.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, vice president, CBS late night
East Coast
late night vice president late night programming.
Isn't development or no?
CBS East Coast.
Late night program. Yeah.
They haven't developed anything in 20 years.
The East Coast is a kicker, but Steve,
on the East Coast.
Well, that was the fun part. Yeah, East Coast.
Well, Steve though almost had it. He just had director instead of VP, and he didn't have CBS. And Gina was close as well, but she didn't have that full title.
That was a good question.
Yeah, that question was a killer. Were you worried that Howard was going to run out of questions? They kept getting them all right.
Well, yeah, John, you and I were in the back. It got to the point where they were getting them right. John and I started trying to come up with some good questions just in case Howard said, what am I going to do? Because I hate it when he says, all right, we have nothing left. Let's just split the money. It's a game. You should have a winner.
Yeah, and these guys set the bar really, really high. And again, congratulations to all of them. I know we did it once on the show, but which staff member do you think would have done the best on this quiz today?
Me. I really do. I mean, I think I go back the longest way, and I have a good memory about it. And I think, in fact, there was one question in there, and it was the only one I didn't know. It was one that we didn't use. Which staff member broke the glass on the Xerox machine while copying his bare ass?
I think I know that.
Who?
Fred.
That's correct.
That's correct. Yeah. And I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think you'd do well, Benj?
Yeah, pretty well for the years I was here. I've been here, yeah.
Right. The problem for you is that there's a huge chunk of time back in NBC and before
I know of because I've assimilated it in, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff I didn't know the years of Bongo. I knew around what years, but that wouldn't have.
Those are the hardest questions, I think, when you need the specific year or date. That's really tough.
Yeah, for me, Bongo, I put everything to something that's going on in my life. It's the same way I can tell you almost any year of a record by sort of remembering where I was when the record was. So for Bongo, it was easy because I remember Mary and I had just gotten married, so I knew it was 92. It was easy.
Now, if you missed it, here's the big ending where Steve comes so close, but Gina ends up winning Howard Stern Superfan Trivia.
What Tom Cruise movie did Kenneth Keith Kallenbach have a scene in before it was cut? The superfans are writing. Steve is the last one to put his pen down. I'm going to go to Matt first. Matt, go ahead.
I said Rain Man.
Rain Man is not correct. Steve, go ahead.
I originally wrote Jerry Maguire, but I believe it was Vanilla Sky.
Vanilla Sky is not correct. Let's go to Gina. Gina?
Jerry Maguire.
That is correct.
You screwed yourself,
25 points. You are a super fan extraordinaire. Wow. Well, Steve and Gina are making out. Matt shaking hands. Steve, I thought you had that one.
You had
I did have it.
What went wrong? You crossed out the right answer.
Yeah.
You had Jerry Maguire. Why did you cross it out?
I just I knew that was Artie's movie.
That's
too.
the same one I got cut out of.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it was the two of them
I'm a
together.
loser.
Our hearts go out to Steve, but congratulations to Gina.
And a good group of people today. Sometimes when people come in like that, they can be really, sometimes people get weirded out when they meet some of us and they get sort of odd and annoying. These were all super nice people.
Nick in Lake Tahoe, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Hey, Nick,
Who
what's
came
up?
up with all the questions?
Jason.
Did you all put them all together yourself, or everybody kind of pitched in on it? What's the deal on that?
Jason came up with some of them. I think John pitched in. Doug Goodstein pitched in a little bit, too.
Yeah, it was mostly Jason. Jason coordinated it, and then we sprinkled in a couple.
Yeah, the hardest one I had was the movie one. Which movie did Howard take his first wife to?
Yeah,
Besides that, I did really well.
I didn't know that one. When I looked at all the questions before, that was one of the ones I didn't know.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
I'm a huge Lenny Bruce fan. So.
Hey, that was a great job today, guys. You guys have a good vacation. We'll talk to you.
Thanks.
Right, thank you, Nick. Let's go to Rob in Connecticut. Rob, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, guys. Good job today. Real quick, one funny thing I noticed that, given the size of some of the people in there, nobody even picked up on it. When they asked the question about J.D. and the web girl that he was a fan of, the one guy mentioned Cookie Puss, and nobody touched on what Cookie Puss actually is. It's a giant, ice cream cake from Carvel.
Yeah, no, we know it's a whole bit with Fred, and we did a whole bit about it, and we just think that everybody knows because it's been played on the air so much.
I thought the series of answers to that question was probably the funniest part of that entire bit.
It was Cookie Puss.
No, one was Pussy Fur.
Pussy Fur, the first guy said.
Then he said Kissy
Fur, which was correct, and then Cookie Puss.
Hey, did she ever I don't know, JD's not. Did he actually get her to use the dog on her?
I'm not sure. Only JD would know that, and I don't think JD was particularly pleased. I heard that question was used.
Did you hear him yelling from the back?
Yes.
He was like, "Good enough already."
I think as different questions went by, a lot of people yelled when it was their question. How
did you react about the 80 blowjob?
I just said it's all for the show and moved on, even though I never claimed that.
Medicated Pete is a 34-year-old guy, never had a girlfriend. He's my intern. He's on Tourette's. Let's bring Pete in.
Where is he coming in from?
Come on, Pete. Who knows? Who knows if we can find him?
There you go.
There he is. Medicated Pete. How you
What's going
doing?
on, guys?
Take a look at the girls. Don't look down
He's
at the floor.
looking down. Poor Pete. He's so shy.
What's up, guys?
Hi, Pete.
That's right, girls. Say hi to Pete.
What's going on?
Pete.
What's up, man?
Pete, are you Tourette'ing right now?
I'm taking out like it's going out of style right now. And
You got 3 girls who have seen you. They understand you have Tourette's. They're interested in you. Pete, what are you thinking? Who do you feel the connection with?
out of all due respect to the 3 candidates here on the show today,
go ahead.
I give the rose to Dinah.
Dinah, you were contestant number 1. You're in a wheelchair. Dinah just wheeled out of here. I'm sorry.
She left.
I'm
shocked.
You're shocked. Why Dinah?
Well, I kind of feel that I have a connection with her, kind of from that.
From what, Queen?
From the just the disability thing, you know.
Let me just talk about Pete's date real quick. I'll give you the update. Pete, come on in. Hey, Dinah. Hello? Dinah?
Yes?
What was that?
What?
You were like this.
I have to pee.
Oh, you have to pee?
I have to pee, yes.
So why don't you go pee?
Because we were waiting for you, but we
Go
can do
pee
this.
now. I'm feeling too much pressure.
No, it's okay. We can do this.
Pee, well, listen. Want to bring?
Are you there?
Want to bring the phone with you into the toilet?
No, it's okay.
All right, Dinah.
Yeah.
Bottom line, I want you to be honest. Don't hold back. Hey, Pete, how you doing, man?
What's up, guys?
Wait a minute. I want to know from Pete if he had a good time on his date.
Personally, I did have a good time.
Okay.
You had a good time on the date?
Yeah.
You guys
You
went
thought
to lunch?
it went well?
And we had a good time.
You went to lunch?
Yeah.
You had some conversation?
I was some conversation. Yeah.
Then you guys rode the mechanical bull?
That
You did.
that was
Dinah
pretty
did.
fun. She did, too.
She did?
Yeah.
All right, we got some film. We'll show that. We'll show we got some video.
Yeah.
All right,
Because I
Dinah.
just wanted to know his perception of how things went.
Dinah,
Right.
I really want honesty here. I don't want you to sugarcoat it.
Okay.
How did it go?
Well, I did have fun on the bowl and stuff, but I have to be honest that it was really tough.
Yeah, I could tell. I didn't watch the video. I listened to the audio of the video.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there going, there's no way this girl's going to be into Pete. There's no way. First of all, she's cute.
Wait a minute. Let me ask
And-
you something. Did it start out with her being interested? Did he lose her interest or...
All right, here's the bottom line. I'm going to teach Pete. This is good I got to hear these tapes because now I know how to work with Pete. Pete could have shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
Your perception was it went well, Pete?
I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want him... I didn't want him to hear that there was any
'Cause-
reservation on her part.
'cause
I
when-
wanted to
Maybe
know
I'm-
what he thought.
Right, I understand. Could now when you
Maybe I'm not seeing it properly. I don't
yeah,
know.
exactly, because you were like
That was a good date.
you saw her, you were physically attracted, and I don't blame you. I thought she was cute, and you were feeling even love for her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you left that date thinking that you were going to get a shot with her again?
No, I had kind of reservations.
What do you think went wrong?
I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it. You know?
See, now this is with your prompting.
can't
He's
really
now
do that.
seeing. See, I wanted to know.
I understand
from
what you
him
wanted to know, but I have
that-
to cut to the chase.
Yes, but I really
Yeah.
wanted to hear that he thought it was a good date.
He
thought
did.
he had a chance. He,
Yeah, he thought he had a shot.
Yeah.
You thought you had a shot. But I'm telling you,
Realistically, no. I mean,
it went horribly. I was listening to the audio.
It was a terrible date.
I'll tell you what, and I'll sum it up for you real quick. Because you haven't had a lot of experience. You're 34 years old. You haven't had a girlfriend. And Dinah, you tell me if I'm right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't ask her any questions, man.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
it's not your looks. It's not your affliction with the Tourette's. You couldn't have been any less interested in her. When you're out with a girl and there are such long silences, you wouldn't believe it. Real uncomfortable long silences.
Were there?
All Pete had to do was pretend you're the host of an interview show. And here's your subject, Dinah. And you're there to hear everything about her life.
Right.
All you had to say to her was, Dinah, I'm so interested in, your life. So tell me where you were born. Boom. I was born in a small hospital and blah, 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 blah. Okay.
But you got to listen.
You got to listen because you got to have follow-up questions. And so you conduct an interview with a girl. And this is a great lesson for guys. And it took me years to actually realize this, that it's really not that hard to talk to girls. All you got to do is pretend to be interested in them.
Mm-hmm. Pretend?
I mean, be interested in them. Here's a girl in a wheelchair who's going to go to law school. So what do you say to a
There's gotta
girl?
be some interesting
What do you
stuff.
say, Pete, to a girl who's going to law school?
What type of law are you interested in?
Ah.
You
Here,
didn't think of that yesterday?
Listen, like this. Here's what you say to her. What made you want to go to law school? Were you intimidated by going to law school? What kind of grades did you have in high school? Was this your dream your entire life to be a lawyer? Was your father a lawyer? Anyone in your family a lawyer? What is it about the law that interests you? Do you ever get frustrated that lawyers have such a bad reputation? Dude.
This would have been great conversation. Thanks.
She would have been putty in your
Oh.
hand. She would have said, you know what? I finally met a guy who cares about me. You hear what I'm saying?
What race would you most like to put in jail?
Any question would have worked.
Something, Artie.
But, Pete, you didn't ask her a thing except you rehashed one time. It was getting so uncomfortable. He finally goes to her again, what kind of music are you into? Which is what we asked her on the show. You knew already. You should have even said, gee, I thought it was really interesting you're into Queen. Because, I've always wanted to see them in concert. Did you ever get to see Freddie Mercury live? Something.
What concerts have you been to?
You went right back to the same question. What happened? You froze up, dude.
I did.
Were you interested in her?
I did. I was just so nervous and
man, you choked.
It just
you choked on
didn't
this
go
one.
well.
You know what, Pete? When you want something, you have to get over the nerve.
Well, not only that, it got so quiet in there. All they were doing is eating. And Pete's, like
Not
most
the
guys who are,
greatest eater.
he's not the
Music or
greatest
anything,
eater.
yeah.
A lot of food flying all over the place. And right, Dinah?
Yeah, that's just part of the food date is the messiness sometimes.
But you would have been okay with it if the guy was really a good guy asking you questions. When girls say, I want to only meet a great guy, all they're talking about is some guy who wants to ask him a few questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling
Interested.
you. Yeah. All right, I'll play you some of the tape here, Pete.
Oh,
this is brutal.
Painful.
Painful. Here we go.
I'm not so sure I want to hear it. But
No, it's good for you to hear.
Go
Because
ahead.
if I get you another date, you can't blow it like this.
Any question,
Yeah.
like what kind of gravy would you like on your shirt?
Right. What, you got, Pete, you ready to hear this? What?
I'd rather go like this with chalkboard, but Go ahead.
Don't you want to learn something? This is the
Yeah, of
tough
course.
part of the
Tough
whole
part of
stuff.
learning, Yeah.
All right,
okay.
here we go. Medicated Pete. Let me find
Let's
what
do it.
page. I got you. I listened to it this morning. I had a hard time with this here. I wanted to just give you a hug and say, Pete, this chick was a winner. You could have had this chick out of her wheelchair, laying there in the bed with those wobbly legs spread, and you could have been inside. This is not a girl who, she ain't too particular. Right, Dinah?
I have standards.
I understand. But no guy's getting into those pants if you don't ask her a question.
Conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell. You didn't even give him your number.
She did.
You got the number?
Yeah.
I did, because it was kind of an awkward situation, and I wasn't sure what to...
What to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. I once gave my number to Charles Manson because of that. It's just awkward. So I said, here. You see, you got the number. But you ain't never. You didn't call her last night, did you?
No.
No. She's already changed her number, I bet.
Email address, too.
That's one of those temporary phones.
Yeah.
How soon into the date did you know it wasn't working, Dinah?
Well, I mean, at first I was hoping that I could get him to talk a little more, but I don't know, as we kind of walked over there and it was really quiet, I kind of got the hint that, like, oh, wow, I don't know what to do with this.
It was weird.
But Dinah, couldn't you help him at all?
No, she tried. You'll hear the tape. She tries. She really tried.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Hey, I was leaving work. I saw Pete crouched down in the hall with his head down, and Dinah's sitting next to him, and he wasn't saying anything to her. I knew there was going to be trouble.
Head down.
I should have pulled you aside right then and there, Pete. Right? I should have given you a lecture on how to handle it.
I was getting kind of nervous.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
What are you so nervous about?
Because I didn't, I don't know.
You thought she was out of your league?
No, I don't know.
Well, Pete, when you've been sitting at home thinking about, girls, you've been dying to have a date, right? Haven't you rehearsed this in your brain a million times?
Let me ask one question.
Yeah.
What happened? What do you mean you got nervous?
Well, it probably all went back to that staring thing in the hallway with the equipment.
When you were staring?
And I saw you walk by, so I kind of wanted to not rehash that a little bit,
What are you talking about, Howard or the girl?
Howard.
What did I do?
We're talking about the girl.
No. Like I said, it all came back to that staring thing when you were walking down the hall,
Yeah.
So I was.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right, here we go. Here's Medicated Pete's date.
But I want to know, didn't you ever think about what a date would be like and what a great date?
Obviously not.
You were dreaming about a date and...
All right, let me get to the
you
tape,
just
brother.
blew it.
Let me get to... Okay,
check this
don't
audio.
rub it in too bad to him. All right, he knows he blew it. I'm explaining it to him. Medicated Pete, here's his date. There's a lot of eating going on. What'd you order, by the way?
Hamburger.
Hamburger ain't for you on a date.
Ooh.
What you got to order is a glass of water.
Tea.
And tea. Tea and water. That's your meal. Not
You
even
got
soup.
a pedophore.
All right, here we go.
I wanted to give you my contact stuff too.
Okay, cool. Or you can even, if you have my email, so if you just drop me an email,
okay,
then I will have your information.
Okay. We'll do that. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Close quarters.
Yeah.
That's when you poked her with your arm accidentally, but at least I made some cut. He poked. He said he was sorry because he poked her in the arm with his arm.
Oh.
But at least it led to some conversation.
A little tick or something?
Yeah.
There's some stuff in here.
So, I mean, it was like that. Like she's eating and trying to get something. So here's some more.
Hey, Howard.
Yeah.
I mean, this is making me sad to say. I think Pete's near tears.
Oh, are you? Oh, Pete, you are?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Pete, I'm going to get you a girl. Don't worry. This is a good... This was the warm-up.
I was,
Oh, dear.
You're going to be fine.
Come on, I mean, well, I mean, I don't know.
I think...
I know the whole conversation, but...
You choked on
But I
it,
guess not
that's all.
yesterday.
Not yesterday.
All right.
Are you laughing or crying? If you start crying, I'm stopping this.
I'm laughing my ass off.
Oh, okay, good.
I mean,
So
only...
once again, Gary read the situation all wrong.
Only just because I'm like,
No, we all did, Howard. The TV guys, too.
Oh, okay. No, I'll stop talking about it. I don't want to make you feel
No,
bad.
I mean, Pete, do you want to learn?
I feel better though. I want to learn from this.
Come on, Rob. Wouldn't you want to hear every shit date you've been on back on tape?
If you want, I'll bring JD in to make you feel better.
This is good.
Millions of people.
He's worse on dates than you.
This is good though.
JD's like this.
I've been on dates that make this look like fucking Cinderella and the Prince.
No, come on.
At least you're better off than JD. Right. JD's like this. I don't care. Whatever. I don't know. What? Listen to me. I got the solution for you. I'm going to fix you. Don't worry. This is going to have a happy
there's
ending.
no chance with Dinah anymore?
Oh, no. The Dinah's gone.
You don't want another date, Dinah?
I could not do another date. It was a lot of work trying to,
Yeah, she did.
keep the conversation going the whole time, and I just don't think I could do it again.
I hear you.
Dinah just put a faster motor on her wheelchair.
Yeah.
She got out of town here.
Do you have roommates or?
No, I actually living at a home right now.
Oh, okay. A lot of my classmates, now that they're going back to school, they live at home, and they always say it like, I'm living at home, but it's like, yeah, but you're saving so much money. I'm so jealous.
Yeah. That's that's a good thing about it, though.
Yeah. Do you get along with your parents?
I do.
That's good.
What?
That must have been some burger.
Let's put it this way. It ain't.
I was tiring listening to it. I want to just go lay on the couch now.
It isn't exactly The Bachelor.
Oh, Pete, what are you thinking?
Listening to myself is horrifying. Living at a home right now.
Okay.
See, when you look like Brad Pitt, you can talk like this, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, the girls can't even hear you.
You can get away with it.
You can. All right, listen. So, Dinah, I want to thank you. I'm going to now work with Pete a little
Thanks for
bit.
putting up with me, by the way.
I think if you worked with him, I don't think it's Tourette's. I think if you worked with him on some social skills and how to go out on a date and how to talk to somebody, I think that would go a really long way, because I think he has something there, and he just doesn't really know how to
work it. I know what to do, Dinah, and I want to thank you because actually now I know how to. Pete, I got this all figured out. Don't worry.
Well, you're welcome. I'm glad I could help you figure it out.
Thanks, Dinah.
Thank you.
All right, now listen to me. I got this figured out. I got more of this tape, but you have enough of that.
Yeah.
All right, listen to me. If you want to see Pete ride the mechanical bull, that he was good at. He did ride the mechanical.
He had a better relationship with the bull.
Look at your TV screen. There's Pete on the bull.
You, Pete.
I got to say, he's got the cowboy hat on. That I got to admit, you did well.
There's someplace like that in New York.
It takes balls to get on that thing.
Oh my goodness! It's over, Pete.
That's it.
Pete froze.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah, Robin, do you ever walk around New York and see someone who looks like an asshole? That's where they go.
All right, so Pete, here's what I figured out. I got this figured out. The way you're going to score with chicks, you just got to pretend you're me interviewing a chick. This is going to be the key. So when you go on the date, you're no longer you. You're me.
I'm you.
You're Howard Stern of the Howard Stern Show. And now you're going to engage these girls in conversation.
Okay.
All you're going to do is ask questions about them. That's the only pressure you got, to think up questions.
Just ask questions.
Think about Dinah. What's her thing? She wants to be a lawyer. She wants to be a lawyer. So, yeah, Robin's right. So she wants to be a lawyer. Hey, so what type of law you want to practice? Then let her talk for a while. Let her talk herself silly. These girls will talk for fucking 2 hours when you ask them a question. They're so starved for daddy.
Well, actually, Howard,
listen
there's
to
a
me.
little bit more to a conversation than just
Hold on. Would you let me finish my advice? This is man to man.
All right, but
you
you're
can't
steering him wrong.
No,
Man to man.
Man to man.
You're steering him wrong.
She's a girl. She don't know. Listen to me.
All right. Sorry.
Listen, I'm no beauty. I get girls in bed. Here's what you do. Then when they talk for a while, you listen to them, and you pick up on whatever they're saying, and then you ask a follow-up question. So she goes, blah, 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 blah. You don't even have to listen to every word.
But you also
then all of a
want
sudden,
to give some information about yourself. Because
Yes.
there was a thing in the conversation when Dinah's talking to him, and she says, where do you live? He could have said, well, you know, where do you live? Do you have your own place?
All right.
You know,
so-
he never referred back.
No, you should have said, "Can I live with you?"
Here, so let's listen. I asked Miss Howard TV to hang around. I know you ain't getting her. She's out of your league. She's out of my league. She's out of everyone in this room's league.
No one's getting her.
No one's getting her unless, I don't know.
Unless you're 49 and
rich or something.
kind of effeminate.
Right. She's going to come in. I'm going to ask her to role play. I'm going to say, hey, you're on a date with Pete. Ask her about herself. And stick to that. And then, like Robin says, okay, she says something like, you know, oh, yeah, I once interned for a TV show. Oh, yeah, I really enjoy my internship, you could say. You know, in fact, I work with Scott, the engineer, that you know, Jesus Christ, he's a real bear, you know, to work with. Something. You can throw in something about yourself. Not too much.
Yeah.
And then get right back to interviewing her. All you got to do is interview these broads, and you will get a girlfriend.
You do what we all do. Bash Scott, the engineer.
Right. Make yourself look better than other guys. I always put down other guys when I'm on a date. I always go, oh, that guy's an asshole, this kind of thing. Oh, yeah, Ganji's fat, sick all the time. Fred doesn't say anything. Benji, I don't know what he does. You know, that kind of thing. People. Yeah. You understand? Oh, Artie's on heroin. Fucking mess. If I even see that a girl's a little bit interested in Artie right away, oh, he's such a mess. I mean, he's involved with that mother and the sister and the heroin. And,
Even if there's a chance.
Right. Even, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to make any other guy look good. All right. You're God's gift to the world. These girls just don't realize it.
Why do you think we're here?
Yeah. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
So when she walks in, become a new man. You're on a date with her. Where is that Miss Howard TV? Bring her in here, Ganji. All right? Let's pretend I never interviewed her. I need you to help me with an experiment.
Look at this brush roll.
Yeah, all right.
I'm Howard Stern.
Well, you're you. Right? Don't tell the girl you're Howard Stern. She'll have you committed. All right. Her name is, what is your name again, please?
Rebby.
I can't remember. I think it's Reby. Right.
Her name's Rebecca.
I need you to help me with an experiment. I don't know how much of this you've been listening, okay?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. I'm trying to train this guy to at least have a conversation with a girl.
Okay.
All right? You're pretty intimidating, this and that. Would you pretend you're on a date, a dinner date, and he has to talk to you?
Sure.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Pete.
Reby, how you doing?
Rebby, how are you?
You're very beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. That's very sweet.
You're welcome. So what made you get into this penthouse thing?
I've never done Penthouse.
All right, give him a chance. He's warming up. This is all new. Go ahead.
I've done Playboy though.
You like this whole modeling career then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
What made you want to do it?
I thought that modeling was a way to be able to travel. I really like traveling, so.
I'm no freaking model, I can tell you that much. So I have to give you credit for that.
That's okay. I'm sure we'll have other stuff in common, right?
Could be.
What do you like to do?
Kind of interesting, you know. I'm kind of a guy who likes to chill out. Go look at sporting events and stuff, and listen to music.
Just ask her questions. Now you're getting caught up in you, and that never goes well. Yeah. You have nothing going on.
So what do you like musically and stuff?
I listen to a lot of classic rock. I like Queen and the Beatles.
Let me ask you something. Why are you always asking about music?
Yeah, that's just one question.
Forget the music. And I know you like YouTube. Listen, I got to play a piece of his date. Hold on a second. I got to interrupt. Listen, again with the music. Every minute with the music. Listen.
Yeah.
This eating ain't pleasant.
He's got to learn how to chew with his mouth closed.
Lying on
you said you were into classic rock?
What was
that? Music?
I like Queen a lot. I like Talking Heads.
Her too.
I don't know. I don't think I call myself a classic rock fan, but I don't know. I don't really have genres that I like. I just have individual.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. Anything you can recommend to listen to?
Well, like I said, I'm a big YouTube fan. So especially a couple albums.
Which ones? Because they have a lot.
Yeah,
they've done.
Right, listen, that music thing is lame. These chicks don't care what kind of fucking music. Listen, only ask her questions. Stick to that, and I get back to the date.
So what do you like to do? Like to hang out and stuff? And
I don't usually go out, but I like to go to Giants
like
games.
to drink?
Do I?
You're not listening.
Yeah, you got to let her finish the question.
Let her answer and then respond. Yeah.
I'm not a big drinker, but I like to go out occasionally. Do you like to drink?
I like to go out. Not so much drink, but you know.
Okay.
What
Yes, you ran out of questions, didn't you?
what else are you what else are you gonna do?
No. Listen.
Oh,
listen.
You missed. She's
Listen,
good.
you got to say to her. You could have said to her like this. Ready? Hey, I heard you talking to Howard before. That whole thing with your parents. How do you get along with them after they committed you to a hospital? She'll talk for fucking 20 minutes.
That's true.
She's waiting on load. She needs someone. Do you think anyone's listening to her? These guys all want to get in her pants. You're listening.
And you spoke over a key thing. She said she likes to go to Giants
Yeah.
games. A hot chick who likes Giants games.
Get into... All right, listen to me. We got work to do.
Oh, you got to do a lot of rehearsing with Pete.
Yeah, you're going to get there. You
One
were doing
rehearsal
better.
is
He was
not
doing
gonna
better
work.
with her than the other day.
But it's still like a rat-a-tat-tat. He's just asking questions.
Yeah.
He doesn't care what she's saying.
Ask her how many sacks Tiki Barber had.
I was waiting for that.
I'm not in the room anymore. I'm going to send you back to your date with her.
Okay.
This beautiful Rebbe. Go ahead.
So what made you become a Giants chick? Why do you like the Giants?
No, you don't have to sound so angry about it.
I was born in New York, and it's my favorite pastime to go to games and stuff.
So you just decided to venture out to the stadium. That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
That's pretty cool.
So why were you in a Looney Tunes bin?
Why the fuck are you into the Giants?
That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Why does your mother think you're nuts?
It'd be kind of cool if she actually agreed to go out with you after this.
Pete,
But it ain't happening.
what are you really interested in?
Yeah, what do you like to ask girls about? You interested in her at all?
Just about them, you know, about like what you know.
You know, here you are. You're a lonely guy, right? You finally got a girl. Let's ask her a few questions.
Yeah, what do you really want to know?
You got big tits?
Well, looking at me, is there anything that makes you curious? That
Oh, jeez.
hey now.
Oh, yeah. I'm real curious, I'll tell you that. Pete would be like, can I touch you?
Are you real?
Pete, all I'm saying is you got to give this some thought.
Yeah.
I think you're on your way. These girls are telling you you're not hideous. They're not saying it's your looks. They're not saying it's your Tourette's.
It's you.
They're saying you're not asking me questions. I figured it out for you. Now all you got to do is pretend to be like a lawyer, and they're on the witness stand. Ask them a couple of questions.
No, that's what he's doing now.
But he's got to listen. See, that's
Nobody
the thing.
wants to be interrogated.
It's so hard to listen to a chick. It is.
Just
That's
concentrate
part
on
of
what
it,
I'm
dude.
Part of the exercise is today, because I'm going to set you up with another girl at some point. I'm going to.
Okay.
Don't lose faith. We're getting you laid. But you got to be prepared the next time. That's why I'm having you practice with Rebbe here.
You're doing good.
But
No,
really,
he's not. Be
what
honest
is-
with him.
What is
I'm not
it?
doing good.
You're not doing
Looking
good.
at Rebbe, what's the question you want to ask her?
Yeah. Look at that girl.
What do you want to ask her?
You shave.
No.
What's it like being perfect?
It's like,
But that's a good question.
What is your question, Pete?
So,
What's
is-
your
do you-
question?
Say
what's it
some-
like being you? I mean, how do you go about your daily life being so attractive?
How about saying this?
That's a good question.
All
What's
right,
the
good.
day in
Okay,
your
all right.
life?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, a day in my life, I usually get up, check the internet, practice my piano, probably take...
You good at piano?
Yeah, I actually play piano.
What do you like?
I play classical piano. My favorite composer is Chopin.
Cool.
Thanks.
Don't say cool so much. Just say Chopin. How's a girl like you learn about Chopin?
How does somebody like you get into classical piano like that?
Now you sound like a human being. Yeah.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Or maybe you'd even like to hear her play. That's
Yeah.
pretty
What make you
What's your
want to do
favorite
that?
Chopin piece?
You seem
Maybe
like
maybe I could beat off while you play Chopin.
you seem like
Do
the
you play in
social
the
type.
nude?
You don't seem like the girl who sits inside and plays guitar, piano. That is why piano.
Oh, well, my parents enrolled me in lessons from when I was really young, and I actually went to the Fame School, and I wanted to go to Juilliard and pursue music.
You look pretty smart anyway, so it looks like you can do that sort of thing.
Thank
What?
you.
Pete,
Wow.
Pete,
She understood
Pete.
that?
Wow.
Ask her if she likes. Ask her if she likes a 13-inch hard cock.
No, stop it. Now you
Just kidding. All right. Might have.
Dude, I got to tell you, take that why out of your vocabulary.
Yeah.
Now, why is a challenge? Why Chopin? No,
Take the why.
Yeah, stop asking people why they do things.
Tell her you have a piano up at your apartment and you want to see her play it.
And then try to find some guy with an apartment or a piano.
Loan it to you.
No, listen,
Ask her if she likes being stared at.
If you could sit through her.
That's another one of my problems.
If you could sit through her playing the piano, man, you're in.
All right, listen, Pete. Already you've improved 50%.
I think so.
Yes, compared to that date, you've improved 50%. By the time you're doing your next date, I'm going to have you up to 100%.
Who else can we have in practice with?
I'm going to do a couple of easy ones.
Yeah.
Next person you're going to practice with. This is on tomorrow's show. You're going to act like you're on a date with Wendy, the retard. Now the reason I chose her.
That should be a slam dunk.
Going to be a slam dunk. That's going to be the easiest.
Appreciate anything.
Yeah.
That's an easy one.
That's going to be easy. Then I'm going to stick you in a room with Lisa G, who loves to talk about herself.
She might be too hard.
No, she's easy.
Really?
You ask Lisa anything, she
She'll
can talk
just
for an
go,
hour.
Yeah.
You know, and I know you might actually even get Wendy the retard.
But you might need to take no dose.
But I'm telling you, Rebe's tough. Rebbe is tough because, you know, she's kind of intimidating. You know what
exciting.
I mean? Yeah.
I mean, look, none of us are big shots here. We'd all be nervous talking to this chick.
You did all right with her.
You got to know how to do.
Yeah.
And she's actually like
very sweet. Yeah.
Right.
She's a giant fan who's into Chopin piano. She's giving you a million ways to ask about herself.
Chopin. How did you?
Juilliard.
You just say, "Oh man, how do you? Did you took formal training? How long? You know this kind of stuff."
Right.
So she's gonna fall in love with you.
I don't know that much about the classics, but you know, it seems hard to play that stuff. I'd love to see you play.
Yeah.
And then you got to sit through her playing. That's going to suck.
Hey, look at her. He'll be able to do it.
He's a music fan.
I can tolerate.
Yeah, you could tolerate sitting there listening to that music.
Absolutely.
Right.
Chopin, you could say Chopin's my favorite vodka.
Yeah.
I know
You know
that
what?
guy.
Ask her
He
if she
makes
likes.
a good vodka.
Ask her if she likes guys who go to dinner with her and chew with their mouth open.
Yeah, I got to work on that one.
Yeah. Thank you, Rebbe.
All right, thanks, y'all.
Thanks
Good
for
luck,
helping.
Pete. See you later.
Okay.
Ooh.
Bye.
Can I pretend to be on a date with Rebbe?
Thank you.
Pete, you just got a kiss. I knew it. Just because you acted interested.
I like you. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that?
She liked it.
Do you think?
Did you just
any
come
of
in your
this
pants?
Get through
I
to
did
you?
not.
All right, good.
I did not.
Did any of this get through to you? Are
Yes.
you hearing what we're saying?
He's got it.
It did.
Like shit through a goose, Robin.
No, I actually.
All right. Tomorrow I'll have you interview Wendy. You know, you'll talk to her. You'll pretend you're on a date with her. You're not going out with her. And then Lisa G. And then you're going to be ready. Then we're going to set you up on a date, and you're not going to blow it.
Oh.
You just need to practice. You've been rusty.
It wasn't the fact that I had Tourette's at all.
No.
Zero.
That has not been holding you back.
I now figured out what's holding you back.
I mean,
You.
that's good news, right?
That's
Not-
good.
not Tourette's.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
I can think
Quick,
myself.
I'm a hot chick. You're on a date with me. Ask me something.
What's going on?
Oh God.
No. Hi. Hi. How are you?
That's rough, man.
I saw you riding the mechanical bull over there. Looked like you wanted to say hello to
You're
me.
so beautiful.
Thank you.
You know?
Thank you.
Why do you want to talk to me?
Oh God.
Okay, listen, Pete. I'm going to do the harmonies.
I get that Y thing again. Yeah, it's
Ralph,
stupid.
go ahead. And then
Yeah.
Yucko's coming in. Go ahead, Ralph.
Yes. I have some advice for Pete. I think while he's still working over there on the Howard Stern show, he should stock up on porno because he's not getting laid. It's a lost cause.
What's with your voice?
He's sick.
Is he sick?
Yes.
Yeah, a little. I don't know. I don't feel sick though. I don't know. I keep. I don't know. Whatever.
Stay
but
quiet.
really, Pete, how do you blow it with a chick in a wheelchair? I mean, that's almost impossible.
I know, man.
It's all right. He blew
Kicking myself
But
now.
what happened between? Seriously, what happened between? You were on the show. You were all amped up. You're handing out roses. You were sort of fun and stuff, and then you completely shut down on the date.
I froze up, man.
He froze up.
You can't give a guy a hamburger.
Well,
yeah, you know what?
how's he
too?
going to get unfrozen?
You know, Howard, when you're sending this guy out on a date, send him out to a bar and drinks. I mean, who gets laid with eating a hamburger?
Well, Ralph, the girl had to go back, and we had to get it taped, and so he got a lunch. Who knew he didn't know how to eat?
Yeah, but, you know.
You could pretty much tell.
Come
It should
on.
be a martini lunch.
No, but
Yeah, from now on, you just drink.
That audio sounds like when like on the Animal Planet, like lions make a kill and they're
You don't even know. I mean, some of it.
they're eating a wildebeest.
Ripping it to shreds.
All right.
Don't eat. Drink.
That one episode where the lions take down an elephant.
Some of that conversation was brutal.
Yeah, preferably have the girls drink.
Yeah, you need them to drink.
We have something in common, you know. With having like a disability and something like that.
Right.
So I think we can relate to each other, you know. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I definitely understand. And I also just got enchiladas, so that's all for me. So you said you were diagnosed when you were like 10?
10 years old, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did you think about it then? Was it hard, or did you not really?
Nobody really knew what it was.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Nobody really knew. I thought it was like schizophrenia or something like that.
All right, listen to me.
I need a drink.
You're on the. You got it. You're almost there.
That's great to listen to. That's fantastic.
It's fantastic. Listen to me. This ain't gonna be easy.
That might be the funniest.
But are you crying?
I'm laughing so hard I can't take it.
The missing thing is booze.
That's so great, man.
Pete, listen to me.
Oh, God.
You are a charming guy. I love you. I want to see you get. But I do. I've really learned to love you because when you first came here, I didn't know you. I didn't know what the fuck your story was. And then I got to know you, and I love you. You are a charming guy. You just got to have some confidence.
What is your evidence?
And what did you say, Robin?
I said, what is your evidence of that?
What did she say?
What is your evidence of that? As she's twirling uncontrollably.
Oh. What do you want? Sal's got advice? You can't beat.
I think I got something good. How about we give Pete an earpiece and feed him the lines?
No. He's got to learn to fly on his own.
Impossible. He's got 2 broken wings.
Cyrano de Bergerac over here.
Put him in a cage? All right. Listen,
No,
Pete.
really, you're telling Pete he's a charming guy. What is your evidence?
Because I've talked to Pete on the show, and I know he's a good guy. And he is going to...
We heard the real Pete.
There is a girl for every guy. Pete, tomorrow you're going to be on a pretend date with Wendy the retard. We're going to start out slow. You're going to ask her a couple of questions. That's going to be... You talk to her.
Okay.
That's all you're missing. It wasn't your Tourette's and it wasn't your looks.
That's the good news.
That's the good news.
Her interests will be different than Rebby's.
Right. Yes.
Yep.
That's okay.
All right.
What do you like doing?
It was a first date.
Can I make another suggestion, Howard?
Don't keep asking what kind of music she likes.
I hate to say this, it sounds a little scummy, but you got to lie your balls off, too.
That's
you
right.
gotta bullshit.
Absolutely. Sal's got it right, Pete.
No girl would be with me if they knew the real me. You gotta lie your balls off.
Right.
And they believe it.
Is that what you got to do?
Yeah.
Yes.
His wife knows
He is
the real
right.
him now.
Yeah, look at his poor
now
wife.
His wife,
trapped.
His wife married him. He got the real Sal now. And she wants to fucking kill him.
She can't get out.
Right.
Look at Benji. Benji gets laid, right?
Yeah, Benji gets laid. You're better looking than Benji.
I was at a strip club one night, Howard, and this beautiful girl, Pete, I swear to God, I swear on my children, she comes up to me, I see Benji throwing the raps on the chicks.
Right.
All of a sudden, this beautiful stripper comes up to me, and I want to brag on Benji's behalf. I even want to bullshit for my friends to get him laid. And I point to Benji, and I say to the girl, hey, do you know who that guy is? She goes, duh. He wrote Madagascar.
He's good.
He's good. Now, Benji could teach you.
And that was it?
Yeah, that's it.
It was in?
Yeah.
I came up with the part where the thing says, I got to move it. That's my favorite line.
I once made out with a chick in L.A. She was a German chick. I told her I wrote Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Yeah. Just...
Even
bullshit. Like I see, like
you played out of him?
You like to wear military outfits. Tell them you're in the army, and you know.
So you played out of him?
Special forces.
Anyway, I got to get to Yucko.
Howard, one more line of bullshit. You know what I do too, Pete? You have to do put fake celebrity names in your BlackBerry, and then have your buddy call that number. Like I put Lars Ulrich in my BlackBerry. So if I'm hanging out with a chick, my phone rings and go, oh, it's Lars Ulrich.
You're talking advanced stuff.
Real advanced.
Lars Ulrich.
You're talking grand larceny, Sal.
Quick question for you, Pete. So the guys are telling me that you went to do a comedy show with Shuli, and there was a girl there, and she was talking to you, and she wanted to take you home to her house. What happened?
She, apparently she liked my stick.
No, but why didn't you go with her?
What? I probably blew it.
No, but I mean, but what made you, like, when she said, hey, let's hang out, let's go, what went through your mind?
I think she might have been playing around or kidding around or something like that.
Nobody thought she was.
I did, though.
Huh?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
He could tell me.
I blew it.
Maybe not. Maybe you saw something there.
He said he was afraid to go to a stranger's house, but
Well,
you know,
want to know what? That's understandable.
Get over it.
Exactly, you got to get over it.
You're gonna have to go to some stranger's house at some point.
No, but
where do people get laid at strangers' houses?
Totally.
I've gotten laid at I've met people and they were total strangers, and I gotten laid at their house.
You ever go to a house and you were afraid if you were ever going to get out alive?
I never thought about it.
On the road, he's got a point. Like, I've gone to houses with chicks on the road, and they're like, that's my boyfriend shining his gun.
And by the way, Pete, you're not alone. I mean, even Yucko can't get laid at all. And he's here. And he's got a clown outfit. He's happy.
Yeah, look at his handicap.
Right. All right. So anyway, you'll be all right. You've got to learn to ask questions. That's it. And you will be on the road to getting laid.
Okay.
That's my advice.
All right.
I see it as a positive.
I will take that and.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pete.
You know, it's a good bullshit when she says Chopin makes it. You go, mine is Stravinsky or something. Like,
when you do the pretend date with Wendy the retard, first question, what's it going to be?
Why are you the way you are?
No.
Why again?
Too vague.
Why?
Too
No,
vague.
why?
You think she's retarded? She can't
hey, I heard
What are you into? What are you into?
No. You go like this. Hey, Wendy, I heard on the show you like to stick tomatoes up your ass.
Oh, God, help.
Why do you like that so much? See,
That's crazy.
That shows you know something about her.
Howard, why are you? You're going to keep him from ever getting laid.
No, I'm not.
You are.
What's it like when a tomato's in your ass?
does your bush have any shit in it?
Yeah.
Don't listen to them, please. I know that Wendy's nobody to practice.
I hear your enormous bush sometimes gets shit caught in it.
By the way, Pete, you're getting advice from guys who never get laid, so don't just realize. We just think we're a little better than you.
Dude,
not much, but a little better.
We're on the radio.
Yeah. No reason I get laid. I got this job. Trust me. I wasn't getting laid either.
But guess what, Pete? You're on the radio.
Yeah, so now you got something going on.
Right.
All we got to do is tune you up a little bit, and you'll be getting laid. Slight tune up, and you're there. Okay? You hear what I'm saying?
I'm actually kind of impressed that none of this is about my Tourette's. This is cool.
Tourette's isn't your problem. You have other problems.
Because listen, quick, 2 seconds. I've had this problem all my life with the Tourette's getting in the way of everything. So this is cool.